They'll go on offense as USC comes onto the field, trying to go to Pasadena, running out of the tunnel on their way to Pasadena. Will it happen? We'll know in approximately 3 hours. USC has to win, or they have to tie this afternoon to knock Washington out of the Rose Bowl and put themselves in. USC says that the Rose Bowl is their bowl. They have said it for several years now, and for several years they've been right. Will it be true? Will they win this afternoon? The Trojans are a 15-point favorite. That's what they've done so far. The only blot on the record, the 21-21 tie with Stanford. An interesting tie because USC was up 21-0 in that ball game in the first half. Stanford came back with their outstanding passing attack. Of course, John Elway came in, the fine freshman from right here in Los Angeles, did an outstanding job. And Turk Schonert, who's the leading passer in the conference, was the mainstay of that Stanford attack that brought them back for the 21-21 tie. That sets the stage. USC will kick off. Rob Kerr, number 1, will be kicking off to number 5, Kenny Easley. Easley, as I mentioned, is the number 3 kickoff returner as you take a look at Terry Donahue. Is he a beleaguered Terry Donahue? Mark Harmon says no. I think he's probably right. I think Donahue is probably assured of a job at UCLA, despite all the criticism, despite all the letters to the editors you read in the local newspapers, despite all the comments you hear on the local talk shows. I think Terry Donahue, with the young football team he has done an outstanding job. Head coach John Robinson, what more can you say about Robinson? He's come in here at USC with a record of 40 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie. And of course, his 9 wins, no losses, and 1 tie this year. Many people call him the finest football coach in the country, the finest collegiate football coach in the country. You will find many, many people not only who will say that, but many more who will agree. There's Lupe Sanchez, number 21, going back. He'll be back on the goal line with number 5, Kenny Easley. Easley, on the left of your screen, that's Rob Kerr. He will normally kick it off into the end zone. Very little wind, if any, here at this almost perfect Coliseum this afternoon. A great, great rivalry, a great, great tradition. And it's just about underway. The referee for today's ball game, William Love. And Kerr gets set to start it. We are underway. A fairly short kick coming to Easley at the 10-yard line. And run down at the 33. UCLA goes on offense first. Let's take a look at the offensive line. Greg Christensen, Larry Lee, a fine junior out of Dayton, Ohio. The center, perhaps the best blocker on the team, Brett Boyd, an All-American candidate. Number 69 is Jim Maine. He will alternate a lot with number 66, John Totolo. Louis Sharp, born in Havana, Cuba, will be the tackle. And tight end, the best receiver on the team, some say the best tight end of the conference, Tim Wright. 1st and 10. Ramsey looking to pass. Throws incomplete to Willie Curran. Curran, number 18, couldn't quite come up with the ball that was thrown behind him. Herb Ward on the defense.
Ted, it's an interesting strategy, just as Mark mentioned a little earlier, to come out right off the top and throw the ball, and I guess this is what their game plan is going to be. They're going to have to do that to make some plays.
Well, Mark Harmon mentioned at the start of the broadcast that he felt that UCLA had to open up. They had to start off. It's 2nd down and 10 from the 32-yard line. Townsend and Curran are both out wide to the right side. They give us to McNeil. McNeil hit right at the line of scrimmage by number 56, Dennis Johnson. The UCLA backs are well known. Tom Ramsey, the freshman quarterback out of Granada Hills from Kennedy High School. Freeman McNeil, the All-American candidate from Banning High School. New fullback Danny Lay. He's played the last 3 ball games. He's done an outstanding job. Willie Curran, he's a sophomore from Crespi High School. And JoJo Townsend from Reno, Nevada. How about this? Proctor Hug High School. How's that for a name for a school? That's where he's from. It's 3rd down and still 6 yards to go. That's Curran in motion. Ramsey sets in the pocket. Incomplete and almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of number 42, Ronnie Lott. It'll be a 4th down kicking situation for UCLA. So the USC defense has certainly looked strong, Pat, on the first series.
Well, they have, and again, UCLA has come out and thrown 2 out of the 3 times, but that ball probably should have been intercepted. It would have given SC excellent field position to start the ball game off.
Raymond Butler, who averages 15.2 yards a carry on the return team. 3rd and nation. The kick from McFarland. Goes to the 30. Butler lets it dance and bounce around there. It'll be USC's ball from the 21-yard line. A 37-yard punt from McFarland, who's averaging 36 yards a punt. Dennis Johnson, the outstanding linebacker. Ricky Gray, the linebacker for USC. This is Herb Ward, the sensational defensive back. Jeff Fisher, a defensive back. These are the defensive team for USC. Ronnie Lott, safety. And Dennis Smith, number 49, out of Santa Monica, also a fine safety. That's the defensive team for USC. The Trojans going on offense. Paul McDonald, number 16, is the quarterback. Lines up in the I formation. That's Garcia and Kevin Williams split out to the left side. In motion is Williams. The give is to the fullback, Marcus Allen, and Allen takes it across the 30-yard line to the 31. Number 21, Lupe Sanchez makes the stop.
Who would have ever thought UCLA would open the game with a pass and SC would have opened the game with the run to the fullback?
Third down possible. We're going to do the racket dodge from the entire game. So be ready.
Second down. 4 yards to go. Again, I formation. Strong to the right side. Obi Brenner is the tight end. In motion again is Williams to the left. Fumble. And Allen gets the ball and UCLA recovers. Let's see who gets up off the bottom of the pile. That's Kenny Easley down there. The man who made the reception is number 55, Martin Moss, a surprise starter today. He's a sophomore out of Lincoln High School in San Diego. So, how do the breaks go in this ball game? Will the breaks win it? UCLA has picked up the first break of the ball game.
You know, you talk about momentum in a game like this, and certainly the tide sure turns in a situation like this, giving UCLA a good field position.
That's absolutely right. And this is what's going to take for UCLA to beat them. They are outmanned, but if they get some breaks like this, they can hang in there and beat the Trojans.
The pitch to McNeil. McNeil can't get around the end. Number 51, Chip Banks, out of Augusta, Georgia, the sophomore, right there to make the stop. A fine defensive stop for Banks, who's got 66 individual tackles so far this year. He is the leading tackler for a loss for USC. He's got 9 for a loss. Toa Saipala into the lineup. Saipala replaces Danny Lay at fullback. There's Tom Ramsey, the freshman. To McNeil. And down immediately at the 35-yard line. Good hit that time by number 49, Dennis Smith, and 57, Larry McGrew.
You know, Ted, it's interesting that the matchup on UCLA's offense with USC's defense, UCLA runs the ball very, very well, but SC's strong point defensively is its rush defense. And again, to make the point not to be too redundant, UCLA is going to have to throw the ball in order to be effective.
Dokie Williams wide to the right side for UCLA on third down and 12 yards to go. Ramsey fakes the give to McNeil and dropped for a loss at the 40-yard line. Number 70, Dennis Edwards, the first man to get him. Myron Lapka, number 96, to put the crush. And UCLA has been able to show no offense so far. Mark Harmon?
Well, my opinion, Ted, is that SC is going to give UCLA 3rd and 6 all day. The question is, that time Ramsey didn't have anybody to throw. They were just well covered. It was a good defensive play.
McFarland back to kick. A 37-yarder his last time. He'll try to angle it out. McFarland. Butler calls for the fair catch. It does not go to the end zone. It's run out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. No score here in the opening minutes of the ball game. 11:26 left to play. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Activities are the other half of education, but are supported by less than 1% of the school budget in most communities. That's the best bargain in education. The National Federation of State High School Associations urges you to support high school activities which educate boys and girls with unmatched economic efficiency.
First and 10, USC from just inside the 11-yard line. Vic Rakshani, number 80, in motion to the left side. He sets up as a flanker on the left. He's called the V-back in the USC offensive formation. McDonald with the give to White. White at the 15-yard line, down at the 16. Stop made by Mark Ferguson, number 50. Let's take a look at that offensive line we talked about earlier. That's the freshman, Bruce Matthews. Roy Foster, maybe the best head-and-head blocker. Chris Foote, the center, a fine blocker, good pass blocker. 71 All-American Brad Buddy out of Kansas City. Keith Van Horn, a big, strong right tackle, and a tough tight end, Hobie Brenner, number 89, out of Fullerton. Second down, 3 yards to go. High formation. Again, Rockshawning in motion to the left. McDonald gives to White over his left tackle. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Martin Moss, Mark Ferguson, and Mark Tuanay there to make the stop. Of course, what more can we say about the USC offensive backfield? Paul McDonald, perhaps an All-American quarterback. Charles White, a definite All-American tailback. Marcus Allen, who'll be the tailback next year. He's just a sophomore. And Kevin Williams, an outstanding speedster flanker. Danny Garcia, a great pass catcher across the middle. Third down. A long 1.5 yards to go. Again, Rockshawning in motion to the left side. They give to White. White stopped at the line of scrimmage. He can't turn upfield. Kenny Easley, the All-American safety, came up from his safety position to make the stop. Easley has already made 2 All-American teams this year, and what a sensational football player. 45 unassisted tackles this year, 25 assists for a total of 70 tackles for the UCLA team. He's number 2 on the squad.
UCLA is fired up, Chad. There's no question about it. They're not going to have SC is not going to have an easy day. You don't see SC stop too often on 3rd and 1.
Number 17, David Pryor, into the ball game. He's averaging 35.9 yards a kick. Easley goes back in single safety. He's standing at the 50-yard line. The Bruins ought to come out of it in good field position. Pryor, a high spiraling kick, runs Easley back to the 37-yard line. Tries to go to his left, hit at the 40, and down at the 41-yard line. A 44-yard punt from David Pryor, a 4-yard return. You know, in the face of everything that's now happening in the Mideast, we in the United States know very little about the Arab world and their Islamic religion. Starting Tuesday on the 5 and 6 o'clock Eyewitness News, Bob Banfield will be taking an in-depth look at who these 750 million people are and why so many of them have reached violently towards America. Be sure to watch Inside Islam, starting this Tuesday on the 5 and 6 o'clock Eyewitness News, number 1 in Los Angeles. McNeil to the 40, to the 43-yard line. That's Ricky Gray, number 35, making the stop. Interesting story on Ricky Gray. He's a sophomore out of Arizona, was born in Christchurch, New Zealand. Came to the United States when his mother wanted to be a dancer and came to USC because his mother enrolled here as a dance major. There's the USC defensive line. Myron Lapka, big, strong defensive tackle. Ty Sperling, probably the best defensive lineman. And Dennis Edwards. The linebackers, Dennis Johnson, the leading linebacker on the squad. Right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. Again, Gray with the hit, along with Chip Banks. Banks coming back from surgery. The defensive backfield for USC. Again, an outstanding defensive backfield. If they've got a weakness, so this is probably it. Herb Ward and Jeff Fisher, the corners. Ronnie Lott, the best defensive back on the team. And Dennis Smith, number 49.
Ted, the question is whether UCLA is going to be able to take advantage of that weakness. That's what we have to wait and see.
Third down, 4 yards to go. UCLA looking for their first down of the afternoon. Back to passes Ramsey. Throws incomplete, intended for Willie Curran. Wolfrider on the play by number 23, Herb Ward. So another 4th down. UCLA has had the ball only 9 times so far this afternoon. They have yet to pick up the 1st down. One of the nice parts about college football.
Patrick, I would like an introduction.
I can arrange it.
Patrick's the guy that can handle it for you.
The strongest part of SC's team, Mark.
Matt McFarland out of St. Paul High School in La Mirada. His team got upset in the CIF playoffs last night. High spiraling kick. Fisher calls for the fair catch, and it rolls into the end zone, or was it down? Number 59, John Helm, downed it, but it looked to me like he rolled into the end zone. However, there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. That's your referee, William Love, there in the white cap. The umpire today is Neil Garrett, Jack Langley, the head linesman, Jack Roberts, the line judge, field judges Larry Thompson, back judge Don Wilson, and the alternate for today's ball game, William Love, makes the call. A 54-yard punt for Matt McFarland. That's Dennis Johnson over there talking to him.
Looks like there's some problem with the jersey, Ted. You know, some of the UCLA players change their jersey numbers for the punt teams.
Dan Dufour, who snaps for the long punts, number 78, was talking to the official. Illegal procedure against UCLA. So that'll erase an outstanding 54-yard punt. Watch it again. McFarland really gets it here. He's a big 247-pounder.
That's a big break for SC because they're going to start their offense down the 2-yard line, and being a quarterback, I'll tell you, that's not the most envious position to be in.
Pat, look what happens here. See, he rolls into the end zone. Should that not have been a touchback?
I don't think so. I think it should have been because his momentum really carried him into the end zone. The ball was downed on the 2.
Illegal procedure against the Bruins. It goes for naught. We'll take it over again.
Those are the kind of breaks that UCLA really needs, Mark, really to stay in the ball game, I think. Field position, interceptions, fumbles, those are the kind of things UCLA needs.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pat. One thing they don't need are mistakes, and so often in a game like this, mistakes are the thing that turn tides.
Raymond Butler back deep. He's standing at his 20-yard line. McFarland gets a good snap from before, nowhere near as long this time. Butler takes it at the 22. To the 25, trying to get some running room, and down at the 22-yard line. A 38-yard punt, no return on a standing tackle. There's no score here at the Coliseum. Ted Dawson along with Pat Hayden, back in a minute.
66-70. Sensational Sugar Ray Leonard, Olympic champ, undefeated as a pro, now goes for the title against undefeated Wilfred Benitez, Friday night on ABC.
No score here at the Coliseum as Paul McDonald brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. Vic Roxani goes in a slot on the left side. And now comes in motion to the right. To give us to White. White at the 20. Turns upfield to the 25 and run out of bounds there by Tom Sullivan, a freshman out of Crespi. There are 3 freshmen on the starting defensive team for UCLA. Sullivan, number 32. Ferguson, number 50. Carl Morgan also plays a lot in the middle guard position. He's a freshman. Charles White, you see the amazing statistics he's accounted for. 44 yards rushing, 48 touchdowns altogether. Second down, 7 yards to go. McDonald to pass. To White. To the 30. First down to the 40. Brian Baggett makes a stop at the 43-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Ted, there's some tremendous pressure put on McDonald quickly there. I don't know who it was there. Here's McDonald just dropping back, and there's quick pressure. Somebody just was beaten, and he dumps the ball off to Charles White. And good block downfield there.
That's Kenny Easley getting a great block put on him. Mark Ferguson and Brian Baggett make the stop after a 17-yard gain from Charlie White. First down, USC. That's Kevin Williams coming in motion. McDonald throws to White again. Sticks his head down at the 45-yard line and pulls his way to the 48 for a gain of 6 yards.
McDonald's such a cool customer. I've had the privilege of getting to know Paul pretty well, and he's a very intelligent young man. And you can see there him reading the defense. He didn't find anybody open downfield. Just quickly and coolly dumped the ball off to White, and it was like a running play. Gained 6 yards, but that's the kind of control passing you need.
I want you to know that completion breaks Pat Hayden's USC single-season completion mark.
Oh, Paul, what'd you do that for?
They give us to Marcus Allen. The fullback over his right guard. It's close to first down yardage as the linebacker Arthur Akers makes the stop. Is it true that Paul McDonald is the finest quarterback in Bishop Amat history?
He and I went to the same high school, not together. I was a few years before Paul, but I am known as the second best quarterback from Bishop Amat. Now, they forget you quickly, Ted.
Absolutely. First down. Inside UCLA territory at the 48-yard line.
USC's offense really has a groove about it, Ted. They really have to kind of get rolling, get into kind of the feel of the game. And once that happens, they're very difficult to stop. And UCLA, what they have to do early is try to get that big turnover, a big play defensively.
McDonald has completed 63% of his passes this year. A lot of pro scouts think he'll go in the first round. That's Michael Hayes, and a tailback goes in motion. McDonald throwing incomplete and almost intercepted. He was throwing for Hayes down at the 30-yard line, and Tom Sullivan, the freshman out of Crespi High School, out of Northridge, almost makes the interception. Probably should have come up with it. Mark?
It's a big play and something like that, Ted. And Tommy Sullivan, I had the privilege of playing with Tom's brother, John, and would have been a big play for the youngster from Crespi High School.
McDonald has thrown 128 straight completions. His last interception was in the Stanford game. That one probably should have been intercepted. 2nd and 10. Marcus Allen goes in motion. The pitch to Michael Hayes to the 45, to the 42-yard line, where Kenny Easley, number 5, and Art Akers makes the stop. What a great All-American Kenny Easley is. Out of Chesapeake, Virginia, he's just a junior. He's already won 2 All-American team honors on the All-American National Football Coaches team. He's a JV basketball player at UCLA. He had 7 interceptions in 1978, 6 interceptions in 77, 17 interceptions in his UCLA career. You see the statistics on how he did in last year's USC game. 3rd down and still 4 yards to go. McDonald to pass. Complete to the tight end, Hobie Brenner. And Brenner has got the first down at the 30-yard line.
I'll tell you, that's a superb play by Paul McDonald there, Ted. He's reading that defense beautifully. He came off his primary receivers. I'll tell you that right now. He came back. Here you see it right now. He's going to give a little half roll. He's looking to his right, and that's where his primary receivers are. They're covered. Now watch him turn back.
The key is the blocking, Pat. Look at the time he's got.
Well, I wish I had that time to throw the ball. I might be a little bit better myself, but he's so cool, and he did a very good job of coming back. You know, Charlie White is hurt, I think. He's not in the ball game.
Hobie Brenner out of Fullerton. 1st and 10. McDonald has Allen and Michael Hayes. Hayes gets the call to the 35, 30, and fights his way forward to the 26-yard line. You know, Michael Hayes had a great game against Oregon State. He came in when Charlie White was hurt.
Well, you're absolutely right, but you can't replace Charlie, especially in these big games like this. I see the SC trainers working on somebody. I don't know if it's Charlie or not, but Charlie White is definitely not in the ball game. I don't see him upstanding by the coaching staff either.
Ed Arnold is down on the field. We'll try to go to him as quickly as possible. Michael Hayes, number 25, out of San Diego, 5'9", 175-pound senior. Averages 4.87 yards a carry. Strong to the right side, slot to the left. 2nd down and 4. In motion is Rockchani. The give is to Hayes to the 20-yard line. A good hit there by Kenny Easley. And now you see the kind of tackler Kenny Easley is. He is always around the ball. But a first down, USC, they're driving at the 19-yard line.
It was a big, big hole there. I think I might have been able to gain 2 or 3 yards in that one. I'm not sure, Mark, but
2 or 3?
2 or 3 maybe.
He used the scramble pretty well.
In case when I had to, you know.
Kenny Easley, what a fine football player he is. Danny Garcia and Kevin Williams coming to the right side. Williams goes in a slot. McDonald to Hayes again over his left tackle. Stopped after a gain of about 4 yards. Tom Sullivan comes up from his cornerback position to make the stop. Also look at number 5 is right there. Kenny Easley, number 39, Art Akers are right there.
Easley's always around the ball.
Let's go to Ed Arnold. Ed?
Ted, I know there's a bit of concern with Charles White, but all it was is he happened to have broken his helmet. Everything is fine. He's ready to go back in and should be back in by now, so no problem.
Thank you very much. That's why we've got you down there, and he is back in as Rockchani comes in motion to the right side. Now he sets. He is actually the tight end on the right side. 2nd down and 6. Charlie White over his left guard. Picks up about 3 yards down to the 12.
Mark, I bet you Charles White's broken a few helmets in his career here at SC. He runs pretty tough.
Yes, and he's certainly a marked man, Pat, and has been for most of his career, and I know that Kenny Easley is dogging him very tightly today.
The goal line stand coming up for UCLA. They send in their 8-man goal line defense. Number 78, Dan Dufour coming in. Number 75, Irv Eatman. Irv Eatman plays a lot of positions. He's an offensive lineman, he's a tight end, and a defensive lineman. 3rd down, a long 2. They give to White. He's got it, and if he could have just kept his feet, he'd have had the touchdown. White, as he crosses the 5-yard line, is to the 3. He gets the pat on the head from Roy Foster, number 64. Okay, watching yourself. You're seeing what UCLA is seeing, Pat.
It's just a deep handoff to Charlie in the I formation. Let him see what he can see. A great block there by Marcus Allen. And Charlie does a lot of that on his own. That's why he's the great back he is. He just powers his way through, lost his footing there, and gets down about the 3-yard line.
Sullivan hit him at the line of scrimmage, and he wouldn't go down. It's 1st and goal. Rockchani. They give us to White. White at the 5 and tripped up to the 2-yard line. Avon Riley, the 6'3", 210-pound junior linebacker out of Savannah, Georgia, makes the stop. White looking for his 49th career touchdown. Joe Don Gary out of Washington High School, number 53, is coming into the game as you look at the USC band and cheerleaders. It's second down and goal from the 2. Will USC get first blood? In motion is Allen. The pitch to White. Touchdown, Charles White.
Somebody threw a phenomenal block there. I'm not sure, but it was a super block.
It was Keith Van Horn, number 68.
Well, he's been doing that all year long, I'll tell you what.
Also Marcus Allen in there to block as you watch Charlie White coming off the field after his 49th career touchdown.
Okay, just a little variation of the sweep by SC. The pitch deep. You see Brad Buddy there making a block right out there, and he's going to walk that one in.
78-yard drive, 14 plays for USC. Eric Hipp to try the extra point. He's made 42 straight, make it 43. With 2:05 left to play here in the first quarter, USC has jumped out on top to score 7-0. UCLA will have their chance to come back in just 1 minute.
That's our Kmart priced.
To the tune of Conquest, Traveler 3 marching up and down in front of the USC fans as they've taken a 7-0 lead here in the first quarter. Traveler 3, and what a great tradition there. Rod Kerr to kick off. Easley is back deep. To the 15, to the 20, and down at the 22-yard line is Lupe Sanchez, number 21. Mike McDonald, number 58, with the stop.
Mark, I'm just wondering if things keep going the way they're going, how long they'll stay with Ramsey and whether they'll make a quarterback change. You know, it's wonderful being up here, being able to second guess. What do you think on that?
Well, Quarles is supposed to be number 2, but we see Bayshore on the sideline warming up. I don't know how long they'll stay with Ramsey. Our offense has to be generated here pretty soon.
UCLA has had 9 plays. They've got 2 yards. The fullback, Danny Lay out of San Jose, the 6', 225-pound junior who averages 5.3 yards a carry. Dennis Johnson, the leading tackler on the USC squad with the defensive play. Johnson out of Flint, Michigan, 6'4", 230-pound junior. 3-year starter here for the Trojans. Second down, 8 yards to go. Ramsey looking for Dokie Williams, intercepted. To the 15, to the 10, touchdown, Ronnie Lott.
Boy, that's like taking candy from a baby right there.
Well, I tell you what, I feel sorry for Ramsey. That's a tough play. It was just good defense, and not much you can say about that. I'm sorry to see that happen to him.
For
If you're a Trojan fan.
For Lott, that's his second interception of the year. Out of Eisenhower High School in Rialto, Ronnie Lott, the 6'2", 195-pound junior.
We get a little look at it here. Ramsey, they were in inside coverage. They were on a man-to-man on the outside. Lott just came from his safety position, stepped in front of the receiver, and picked it off. It's a tough throw. The ball's in the air about 30 yards for a 5-yard gain.
It was well defensed all the way. Herb Ward had him covered behind, and Lott stepped in front. Hipp. He has not missed one this year. So in the course of 43 seconds, USC has scored again. While we have a moment here, just a reminder that tonight on Eyewitness Los Angeles, Paul Moyer takes us on a search for Playboy's 25th anniversary centerfold flame ring. Then Espadrosa sneaks us into Disney Studios to see how the dazzling special effects were created for the new space epic, The Black Hole. That's tonight on Eyewitness Los Angeles at 7, right here on Channel 7. What an outstanding team. Paul Moyer has really brought a great deal of enthusiasm, a great deal of professionalism to the Eyewitness News staff. And certainly Ronnie Lott has brought a lot of discouragement to the UCLA staff, the UCLA squad. As Lupe Sanchez and Kenny Easley back deep to take the Rod Kerr kickoff. Kerr number 1. Lupe Sanchez decides not to run it out. It'll be 1st and 10. Check it. That's not Sanchez. That's Townsell. JoJo Townsell, number 26. Normally it's Sanchez, 21 back deep, but it's Townsell in this case, the freshman. Ramsey stays in at quarterback.
You know, Pat, we talked earlier about UCLA having to open it up, and theoretically there's nothing very imaginative about a quick out.
Especially thrown into coverage like that. It's tough break, especially down by your own goal line and only 5-yard gain.
Townsell splits right. Willie Curran splits left out of the I formation. They give it to McNeil. Over his right tackle, hit right at the line of scrimmage by number 57, Larry McGrew.
Well, my feeling here is that you'll get a look at SC's defensive line and their defensive line play here. Or maybe you won't. But regardless, the point is that USC is going to give UCLA that kind of play all day. They'll give them 3 yards. They'll give them 4. They'll make them go 3rd and 6, 3rd and 4. It's a very tough call.
Freeman McNeil hit right at the line of scrimmage by Dennis Johnson, number 56, and 35, Ricky Gray, as Freeman McNeil is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Myron Lapka there to make the stop. Chip Banks, number 51. Larry McGrew, number 57.
Mark, what kind of thing do you think UCLA can come back? Haven't really been in this position this early in a ball game. Is it going to be tough to come back 14 points down?
Yeah, I think so, Pat. And also, you take a look at some stats. And McNeil's got 5 carries. He's gained 7 yards. You think he's a marked man today?
They're looking for him.
3rd down, and still 5 yards to go. In motion is Willie Curran. Ramsey to throw. Gets a block, sets up, throws, complete. And out of bounds is JoJo Townsell for the 1st down at the 41-yard line. Jeff Fisher runs him out of bounds. Townsell, the freshman out of Reno, Nevada.
Nothing fancy here, but a little misdirection by Ramsey. Faking one way, coming back the other, taking advantages of USC's flowing linebackers. There's Townsell wide open on the sideline. That's what they're going to need to do, Pat, to open up even the running lanes.
First down of the afternoon for the Bruins. Ramsey to McNeil. Trying to cut upfield. He gets about 3 yards.
You know, Mark, Ramsey showed me something, too, coming back after the interception, coming back and throwing the ball and drilling it there right on the money. The receiver beat his man, and Ramsey delivered it very, very well.
So maybe we see some sort of trend here. You know, USC comes back against flow. All yours, Ted.
That ends the first quarter here at the Coliseum. We'll be back for the second quarter in just 1 minute. 14-0 our score here at the Coliseum. USC out on top. A 2-yard run from Charlie White and an interception by Ronnie Lott. UCLA driving at the 44, 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Ramsey puts Ron DeBose in motion. They give this to McNeil. Nowhere. 51, Chip Banks there to make the stop, and Jeff Fisher comes up to stop it. There you see the first quarter statistics. No question who's leading this ball game. 94 yards to 30. 5 first downs to 1.
The turnovers, too, I think they are even, but this is where UCLA is going to have to make its move, I think. You're either going to have to force some fumbles or pick off some balls and turn the game around that way.
3rd down. Still 8 yards to go. Toa Saipali is in at fullback. Back to pass is Ramsey. Plenty of time. Throwing incomplete, intended for JoJo Townsell at the 38-yard line. Jeff Fisher with the defense knocked the ball away at the last second. Townsell's got good speed, but so does Fisher. Fisher is an ex-wide receiver at Taft High School in Woodland Hills. That's JoJo Townsell, who was an outstanding track man, the Nevada State Sprint champion out of his Proctor Hug High School in Reno, Nevada. McFarland to kick. Back deep is Raymond Butler and Jeff Fisher. McFarland averaging 36.2 yards a kick on 39 this year. Big 6 foot, 249 pounder. Fair catch called by Fisher. It'll be 1st and 10, USC at the 17-yard line. A 38-yard punt from McFarland, no return. Head coach John Robinson sees his team up on top. 14-0 as he talks with his fine middle linebacker Dennis Johnson. That's number 56 there. Terry Donahue, you'd have to call him the beleaguered head coach at UCLA, putting on the headsets, trying to find something that'll work. McDonald to White. Trap up the middle to the 28-yard line. Kenny Easley with the stop as we take a look at what Charles White has done so far. Charles White, a possible Heisman Trophy winner, certainly an All-American, a probable top draft choice. Many teams say that they'd like to have him as their top draft choice.
You know, I'd like to have him on my side, I'll tell you that.
Are the Rams that interested?
Sure.
First down for USC at the 29. The pitch to White. Cuts up field, nowhere as a flag goes down at the 29-yard line. Kenny Easley with another tackle. Holding as referee William Love calls the play against USC. Pat, watch it, see if you can find it.
Well, I never see any holding when SC's running the ball, but I'll just take the referee's word for it. It's another student body left here with Charlie White. Very good pursuit by UCLA. You see Kenny Easley again. You see Kenny Easley's right there where the ball is going to be. He steps up into the hole and makes a tackle. But I am really impressed, Mark, with the UCLA defense. Their offense hasn't shown me a whole lot.
It is right there.
Very, very
Number 66,
aggressive.
the freshman Bruce Matthews. That's the second thing that John Robinson has found to frown about this afternoon. The first, of course, is the fumble in the first play of the game. First down, 25 yards to go. Kevin Williams in motion to the right side. McDonald with a very long count, and now too much time. As he was calling a play trying to get Michael Hayes to go in motion, Hayes didn't go in motion. McDonald said, "Get out of here." And by that time, the play had taken too much time. John Robinson's really unhappy about that one as McDonald talks it over with his outstanding guard, Brad Buddy, number 71.
It's a little surprising to me, Ted, to see SC doing a few of these things, but it's not very characteristic of the Trojans or a John Robinson type of team to make mistakes like that. There was obviously some confusion, though.
First down and 30. And this is the time I would think, Mark, that UCLA has got to come up with some kind of turnover at this stage.
Well, I would think that SC would play rather conservative here. They've got an awful lot of yards to make up.
In motion is Hayes. The draw to Marcus Allen. Number 9, Avon Riley, inside linebacker, makes the stop at the 15-yard line.
You know, it's interesting, Ted, that USC is doing the shifting in motion. It's so different from when I played there. We were really a power team. We didn't really finesse people. And USC still does overpower people, but they are moving people around, shifting them, and trying to gain an advantage.
Larry Hall has replaced Chris Elias in the defensive linebacker spot for UCLA. On second down, still 25 yards to go. Again, Hayes goes in motion. McDonald to pass. Throws complete to Hayes. 20 to the 22. Avon Riley makes the stop after Scott Stouch made the first hit. Joe Don-Gary also there.
Well, here you just see Hayes in motion, and as Mark mentioned earlier, they're going to be a little conservative down here. It's a very safe pass out in the flat. He's wide open. It's almost like a running play. They're just going to, a wide pitch, but they're throwing the ball, and he gains 5-6 yards.
Third down, and still about 17 yards to go. Williams comes to the left side. In motion is Hayes again, this time to the right. Williams jumps way off sides, and you can forget it. The pass goes to Hayes, but no sense hurting yourself on this one as Avon Riley makes the stop along with Brian Baggett. Kevin Williams was only about 5 yards offside. Bill Love brings his fellow officials over. He just, Pat, missed the snap count.
Yes, again, there was some crowd noise, but that's no excuse.
How difficult is it to hear with the 92,000 fans in the stands in a game like this?
Well, USC is sending a lot of people in motion. They audibilize a lot, which they've done all year long, so it's at a premium for everybody to be listening to the quarterback and for the quarterback to be enunciating his count. I'm not sure if those wide people are hearing what Paul McDonald is calling or if he's changing the play.
Was it difficult for you, Mark?
Yeah, I think it's difficult, Ted, but I also think that anytime you jump offside like that, it's a lack of concentration. If you're a split receiver, they teach you to look in toward the ball and go on snap and the ball movement instead of voice.
It's what they've done is they have refused the penalty. There was a gain of about 6 yards on the pass play to Hayes, but that'll bring up 4th down and still 11 yards to go, so UCLA has just refused the penalty and they'll take the kick. David Pryor, a freshman from Hemet, California, averaging 35.9 yards a kick.
You know, Mark, as I was mentioning a little earlier, I think UCLA's defense has been very, very aggressive. They're awfully fired up. They came to play.
They did, Pat. They've also been on the field an awful long time and not getting a whole lot of support from the offense, and that's going to tell later on in the game if it hasn't already.
Easley, who averages 13.1 yards a return, is standing back in single safety at his 40-yard line. Pryor from the 13. Good snap. Booming kick. Drives easily back to the 23. Gets a block. Still trying to find the line and can't do it as he cuts upfield for a couple of yards and down at the 25-yard line. Tim Shannon makes the stop. The score here at the Coliseum, 14-0. We'll be back here in the second quarter in 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we challenged hotshot Jimmy Powell to play the Mattel Electronics basketball game. Jimmy doesn't know inside is a tiny thinking computer that plays like a whole team of pros.
All right. All right.
Jimmy's got the ball. The computer defends the bucket. He fakes left, dribbles right, shoots, blocked. Now, clock's running. He breaks inside. Paul scores. Mattel Electronics pocket basketball with the built-in computer.
Who's in there?
Field. He says he's okay. He was shaken up on that last series. White, who's carried the ball 9 times for 38 yards, was not in on the last couple of plays, however. Charlie White, and what a valuable player he is on this USC team. However, I think we've all seen that it's the blocking and the total USC play that makes this team run. Michael Hayes ran the ball extremely well when he was in there. After a 48-yard punt, UCLA takes over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Make that the 24-yard line. McNeil trying to get to the outside. He cuts up, does a good job fighting his way to the 32. And that's the job McNeil does for you, Mark, as Ronnie Lott makes the stop. He probably should have been stopped for no gain.
Well, you can see tempers are flaring a little bit today, and there's a lot of emotion going on out there, but that was individual effort right there. SC's got such quick linebackers, such quick movement. We'll get a second look here from Ramsey's point of view. The ball is supposed to go off tackle, but you see McNeil taking it outside, and here will wait for an opening, break it up inside. This is all individual effort. Freeman McNeil at his best, and watch him fight.
Good effort, Doc. Gain of a couple on the play as Eric Scoggins makes the stop, but it's enough for the first down. Head coach John Robinson of the USC Trojans, his ball club's ahead 14-0 here with 10:30 left to play in the first half.
You know, Ted, they were beating Stanford 21-0 in the first half, too, and that's when they got in trouble, so SC's still got to be aggressive the whole game.
Toa Saipali in at fullback for UCLA. Ron DeBose is a flanker. Now he comes in motion to the right side as you look at Tom Ramsey. The give to McNeil. And Dennis Edwards, the big 6'4", 225-pound sophomore defensive tackle, makes the stop. Edwards, number 70, the UC number 56, Dennis Johnson. That is not Freeman McNeil. Freeman McNeil, however, does. That's Dennis Edwards, number 70. Danny Lay back in at fullback now. as Ron DeBose again goes in motion. The pitch to McNeil. To the 40, 45, and down to the 48-yard line. Another first down for Freeman McNeil. That's what UCLA has to have, Mark, is a big game from McNeil. Watch it here.
From the end zone. Quick pitch to McNeil, fullback leading. He'll stretch it as far as he can go to the sideline, wait for the opening, and then take it. When you have speed like he has, you can do that kind of thing, and that was an awful nice run.
Good block by number 70, Greg Christensen. First and 10, UCLA. Ball just past the 48-yard line. Ramsey to pass. Good protection. Holds up, throws across the middle. Incomplete and almost intercepted as Ronnie Lott came very, very close to his second interception. Dennis Johnson was back there, also Eric Scoggins. But Ronnie Lott had his chance for his second interception.
Get a second look at this, and Tom Ramsey here. You can see the play break down. He pumps right here. He wants to throw, has to hold on, and then throws into a 2-on-1 coverage. That's interception city, and most quarterbacks will tell you that's not something to do.
Good pressure that time as you watch the intended receiver. That's number 18, Willie Curran.
Ball's late. He was over.
1 for 7 for Tom Ramsey as Freeman McNeil gets the call to the 45, the 40. Still fighting his way to the 36-yard line before Dennis Smith runs him out of bounds along with Don Jones. Ramsey, who's been unable to pass, has given it to big Freeman McNeil.
What happened there was SC was in their nickel defense, I believe. They bring in number 11, Don Jones, and Ricky Gray goes out, and they just ran a simple draw for big yardage. That's the kind of play you want to run against a nickel defense, which is a passing defense.
Something that UCLA is doing, Pat, SC is doing rather, is they're stunning on defense, moving linebackers in and out from their basic 50 set. And I think probably they're doing that because Tom Ramsey, being a freshman quarterback, is inexperienced, and hopefully they'll all lies away and they'll be ready to stop it.
Anthony Edgar, a sophomore, is in at tailback. He gets the call. Turns it up as flags go down at the 34-yard line. Ronnie Lott makes a stop along with Herb Ward. Also, that's Dennis Edwards getting up off the bottom of the pile. Holding. And the charge is against number 67, Louis Sharp. Sharp, a sophomore out of Detroit, Michigan, born in Havana, Cuba. He won the honor as the top rookie last year for UCLA, a tough blocking tackle, 6'6", 250 pounds. Number 67, Louis Sharp. Does he smoke cigars? I don't know whether he does or not. I would doubt it. I'll guarantee you he doesn't smoke Havana cigars. UCLA, who pulled a surprise last week by bringing Irv Eatman, a freshman, in as a double tight end, has pulled another one this week. Number 83, Ron DeBose, who's listed as a senior tight end, is playing a lot at flanker. He's in there now. That's Willie Curran who goes in motion. Ramsey to pass. Downfield, complete and out of bounds is JoJo Townsell, number 26.
It's the exact same play that UCLA used so effectively earlier in the first quarter. Misdirection, isolated to Townsell. Coming down, just running a, we call it squirrel pattern. Down, fake to the inside, come back to the corner, come back for the ball. SC's corners have been deep conscious all year, and they're not going to give up that deep ball, but they will give up something short inside.
Interesting, he only took about one step back to the ball, so he doesn't have to come back to 4 or 5 yards to some coach's feet.
It's a well-thrown ball.
Second down, still 8 yards to go. As they pick up 17 yards of the 15 yards they lost on the penalty. That's DeBose in motion to the right side. McNeil back in after the equipment change. Has run out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A gain of 4. Dennis Smith and Ricky Gray running out along with Herb Ward. 8:25 left to play here in the first half. You see the score 14-0 USC on a 2-yard run by Charlie White and an interception by Ronnie Lott. Why is she smiling?
She knows Pat Hayes up here on the booth.
Freeman McNeil, 54 yards so far. He needs 112 to become the all-time leading UCLA rusher in one season. Willie Curran wide to the left side. That's JoJo Townsell wide to the right. Ramsey rolls out looking to pass. Decides to run. He can run. but he can't run away from USC's defense as number 96, 6'4", 245-pound Myron Lapka makes the stop. That's pretty good pursuit for a 245-pounder.
You bet. There's nothing fancy there. That was just a straight Gary Beekman fashion sprint-out type pass, and Lapka gives you an idea of SC's linebackers and the speed they have. He's coming all the way from the opposite side and catching somebody from behind.
That's Dennis Johnson chasing the play there. He was ready to put the stop on him if Lapka missed. Dennis Johnson is 56. Peter Bormeister is going to try the field goal. A 49-yard field goal. He had a 48-yarder last week against Oregon. Peter Bormeister. The ball is down. The kick is up. No good. Off to the right side. Bormeister had the distance, but he just barely sneaked it off to the right side. Bormeister has the career school record of 31 field goals. Back in just a minute. Ted Dawson along with Mark Harmon and Pat Hayden high atop Los Angeles' Memorial Coliseum. The score 14-0. First and 10 USC. In motion is Vic Rockshani. Rockshani lines up as a flanker on the right side. Number 86 Raymond Butler is put out wide to the left. The pitch is to Charlie White. Turns up at the 30, 35, run out of bounds at the 35-yard line by who else? Number 5 Kenny Easley.
You know, Ted, one of the real tendencies of USC's offense is when Rockshani's in the ball game, they really have a strong tendency to run the football unless they're down by the goal line. And it's something I'm sure that UCLA is aware of and have scouted. But you'll see Rockshani come in, and because he is a very good blocker, they're going to use him to block, and rarely will they throw.
The talk around USC is that Rockshani will be the fullback next year. And Marcus Allen will go to tailback. Vic Rockshani, who's caught 6 passes, 3 of them for touchdowns this year, will be the fullback. Fake the pitch to White. McDonald to pass. Being chased, gets it off to White to the 45. And White knocked off his feet by Lupe Sanchez at the 48-yard line. Good effort by Paul McDonald. And a good effort by Charles White getting open.
Ted, you see Paul McDonald come out here, fake a pitch to Charlie White. He's looking downfield to his left. Nobody's open. Again, he's got excellent time. He comes back, finds Charlie White, and delivers the ball to him. We've seen Paul McDonald do this 2 or 3 times today.
That's Chris Elias who misses the tackle there. And finally, Lupe Sanchez makes the stop. First and 10. Ball at the 48. McDonald back to throw again. Complete at the 39-yard line. Kenny Easley makes the stop on Danny Garcia, number 26.
And here you see Coach Robinson's pull up. Okay, we're going to have to take a look at it. Garcia just goes down. He's putting a good move on the man. He's driving him off the line of scrimmage, which he's trying to do. It's a little curl-in pattern. The ball is delivered on time, and there's Kenny Easley again making the hit. I'll tell you, that hurts.
And Garcia is not afraid to challenge the linebackers coming to the inside, which makes him such a tough receiver. First and 10, USC driving again. To White. Turns it up and run out of bounds. Kenny Easley again with the stop. I think Easley probably is playing White one-on-one, wouldn't you, Pat?
I think they're keying up on him. There's no question about that because, really, Charlie White's going to get the ball at least 40 or 50% of the time. And Kenny Easley is UCLA's best defensive football player. He's played superbly today, and it's a good matchup.
Chris Elias in to play linebacker for UCLA, replacing number 41, Larry Hall. Elias is number 98. Rockshani splits wide to the left side. Raymond Butler splits wide to the right. McDonald to pass. Complete to number 86, James Hunter. A check catch, Raymond Butler. Lupe Sanchez makes the hit at the 19-yard line.
Here we see it again. Paul McDonald just a half roll to his right, sets up, delivers the ball in a little out pattern over the linebacker's head in front of the safety. Very good throw, good catch. Good timing on that, too, which is very, very important.
Butler averages 13.6 yards a reception. He's got 19 for 259 yards this year. McDonald to pass again for the end zone. Butler is there, but the ball isn't. Overthrown. Lupe Sanchez back there covering.
one thing I like to see here, Ted, is the aggressiveness. Paul McDonald, you see his stats, 8 of 10, 90 yards. He's very, very accurate passer, as he's been throughout his career at USC. But USC is still on the attack. They're ahead by 14 points, but they haven't gone into a shell. They're still attacking, and this is the key to their offense.
And Mark, UCLA is not putting pressure on McDonald.
No, in fairness to Paul, I mean, not taking anything away from him, Ken. He's getting all kinds of time to throw the ball, and he's putting the ball on the money.
Rakshani in motion. 2nd down and 10. McDonald to throw again. He's looking for Rakshani. He's got it at the 3-yard line. Brian Baggett makes the stop as we take a look at Vic Rakshani, the junior out of Edison High School in Huntington Beach.
Well, I mentioned earlier that
230-pounder.
That they don't throw the ball to him much when he's in, but here he is going in motion as he always does. He's driving the defender upfield and just breaks it out. It's a simple out pattern. The ball is delivered. He screens a defensive man out, which is really a key there because the ball could have been knocked down had he not screened the defensive player out.
That was not a bad defensive play by Brian Baggett.
It really wasn't, no.
1st and goal. That's Rakshani. To White. Upfield. He didn't get in. White stopped at the 1. John, why are you that upset, John? You're leading 14-0, and it's about to be 21. I guess he didn't like to block it.
Either that or his dinner plans just fell through.
2nd goal. Ball at the 1-yard line. Has never lost a Pac-10 game in the Coliseum. Outstanding football coach. Rakshani in motion. To White. Dives. Touchdown, Charlie White, his 2nd of the afternoon. That's White's 17th touchdown this season. And 50th career touchdown at USC.
A good mixture of runs and passes, Ted.
All of a sudden, John Robinson is happy.
Here it is. You're just going to hand it to Charlie, let him go over the top. You know, Sam Cunningham started this with USC years ago, and SC tailbacks have been doing it since then. They give the ball deep in the backfield, let him use some jumping ability.
Pat, watch it here. Avon Riley, number 9, and number 39, Art Akers, are right there to hit him at the line of scrimmage, and White spins into the end zone.
He's strong. You also saw number 5 on your screen again, Kenny Easley.
Number 10, the junior from San Francisco, makes the extra point. That gives him 43 this year. Back in just 1 minute. You see the USC scoring drive, 9 plays, 68 yards. A fine drive. What more can you say? They did it all passing, Paul McDonald passing, and Charlie White running it in. Rob Kerr kicks off. Townsell at the 5, the 10. And down at the 19-yard line.
You know, Mark, this game means an awful lot to the seniors. It's the last chance to play here in the Coliseum, and I remember when you and I played last game, we were fortunate enough to go to the Rose Bowl, but this is a very important game here to the seniors.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pat. It used to always get to me that coming out on the field here is it took 60 minutes of flawless football to go, and that's the way it should be. And again, the Rose Bowl's on the balance here.
4:19 left to play here in the first half. Tom Ramsey stays in at quarterback. Ron DeBose in motion to the left side. McNeil over his left tackle. Dennis Edwards makes the stop there along with Myron Lapka. A gain of a couple. They give him 4 yards on forward progress. Toa Saipali, number 19, checks into the ball game. Rick Bayshore standing at the sidelines. He's a senior. Is this his last game? Will he get to play in his last game?
Sure like his number.
That from Pat Hayden. Ramsey on the reverse. Fakes the reverse. Throws downfield. Willie Curran is there. Knocked away. Dennis Smith and Ronnie Lott to knock it away. That didn't fool too many people.
Well, that's a good call. Again, this is what UCLA has to do. We talked about it. Mark said they have to be loose. This is what they have to do. If they're down 21 points, you got nothing to lose at this point, and hope for the best. It was well defensed, but you got to hope for the best.
It looked to me like Curran ran the pattern too deep.
Well, he did. He, you know, in a situation like that with all that kind of razzle-dazzle, you sometimes run the risk of getting the receiver out of the range of the quarterback, and I think that's what happened then. And also, Ramsey had pressure on him there, so even when they are doing razzle-dazzle, SC's getting in there defensively.
Third down, Danny Lay back in at fullback. Fake the give to McNeil. Ramsey under pressure. Gets it off, complete. In. Well, USC says they've got the ball. The official says no. William Love, right on the play, says yes, USC's got it. Number 57, Larry McGrew, came up with a loose ball out of the hands of Freeman McNeil. USC's got it in great field position. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line when we return with the score 21-0.
Bruce Jenner for the Minolta XG1.
The Minolta XG1 35mm is so automatic, I can keep taking pictures while my friend Jeff kicks the ball from sunlight to shadow. The XG1 changes the exposure not just automatically, but continuously. Minolta's continuous automatic exposure system helps give you pictures you never thought you could take at a price you never thought you could afford. The Minolta XG1, the automatic choice in automatic cameras.
3:28 left to play here in the first half. Some scores you may not have heard. Oklahoma over Nebraska this afternoon, 17-14. North Carolina over Duke, 37-16. 1st and 10. Paul McDonald out of the I formation. They give us to White. To the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Charlie White. Individual effort. Roy Foster there. Van Horn there. Clapping hands with Charlie White.
What a super run and what a great big hole there was there.
Trap blocking on the interior line. Got Charlie into the secondary, and from there he did it on individual effort. Eric Hipp, who has made 44 out of 45. It's good. 45 out of 46 extra points for the little junior from San Francisco. John Robinson, as Vic Rockshani comes over to accept his congratulations. Watch it again.
I'll tell you, Charlie White has really graced this field over the last 4 years. Here's another example of that. It's a big, big hole through there. But then when he gets into the defensive backfield, you see him put a move on there. He breaks a tackle. You really saw the best of him. He darted through the hole, then he used his power. Here his speed, one stiff arm, and he's in the end zone. I'll tell you what, we're going to miss him here at the Coliseum.
Brian Baggett, Lupe Sanchez, and number 32, Tom Sullivan, all had a shot at him. Lupe Sanchez and number 32, Tom Sullivan, all had a shot at him. No, there's no question about it. We all feel the pinch of inflation these days, but very few of us realize just how much. Starting Monday, though, on Eyewitness News, Dr. Joyce Brothers gives us a good, hard look at the stranglehold our credit cards have on us. How deeply in debt many of us are. How the whole thing's affecting our marriages, our children, and our old folks. Inflation's just another word, and so it's examined psychologically from the inside out by Dr. Joyce Brothers on Eyewitness News. Number 1 Eyewitness News, starting Monday at 5 and continuing Tuesday and Wednesday at 5 and 6. That's right here on Channel 7. Rob Kerr to Townsell, to the 10, 20, and down at the 25-yard line. August Curley, number 87, makes a stop. Traveler 3, who's been around this Coliseum 4 times this afternoon, 28-0 in the first half.
He is getting a workout, old Traveler, isn't he?
Always gets to me in situations like this. When UCLA rooters can't cheer for the team, they always get on the horse.
Boo the horse.
First and 10 Bruins. They give us to McNeil. McNeil hit right at the line of scrimmage. Dennis Edwards makes the first hit. Dennis Johnson comes in to finish it up.
Interesting right there, Ted. You saw John Robinson holding up 3 fingers, meaning he's got 3 minutes left, and I'll bet that was to Paul McDonald to say, if you get back in there, we'll go into that 2-minute drill and see if we can put some more points on the board before halftime.
As you take a look at John Robinson, an interesting score. Second quarter, BYU leads San Diego State 28-7. There's Terry Donahue. Second and 8. Ramsey on the delay to McNeil. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, tries to get outside. Good individual effort as he picks up 2 yards to the 31-yard line. Ricky Gray up off the bottom of the pile along with Ronnie Lott. Freeman McNeil, number 24, 54 yards, 16 rushes.
There's been 54 tough yards, too. I'll tell you, they haven't come easy.
Willie Curran replaces Doki Williams. Curran's a flanker for UCLA. Out wide to the right side. Takes the gift to McNeil. Ramsey, incomplete and almost intercepted by Herb Ward. Ramsey, welcome to the Pac-10. Tom Ramsey out of Kennedy High School, just a freshman. And with 1:55 left to play, USC will have it one more time.
This is so predictable, it drives me crazy. You got to roll to the wide side of the field, you got a receiver running a down and out, and you got the receiver well covered. You have to wonder about a situation like this. You're down 28 points with 3 minutes left to go in the game, and you're running off tackle.
Raymond Butler, number 86, back deep. He's the leading punt returner in the Pac-10. McFarland, high spiraling kick, fairly short as Butler calls for the fair catch at the 32-yard line. 36-yard punt, no return for Butler. Minute 49. USC will have that much to try to get another one.
You know, being a quarterback, Mark, I have to defend Mr. Ramsey. I mean, we can question the calls, but he was well covered there, that receiver. And Tom is having a tough day, but those receivers aren't exactly wide open. But I am impressed with the way he is throwing the ball. He's got velocity on it. They're pretty accurate, but his receivers are going to have to do a better job of getting open, too.
Well, I agree with you, Pat. I'm just saying predictability in a situation like that. I think that USC studying game charts on UCLA will find that they do that 3rd and long yardage.
In motion is White. And McDonald's going for more. Plenty of time. Throws it short to Marcus Allen. To the 50. To the 47-yard line. Scott and Tom Sullivan finally there to bring him down.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun to watch, I say. He's dropping back again. Paul McDonald's looking downfield. Apparently he doesn't see anybody open. He's got to check off back Marcus Allen. He just dumps the ball over him. That's in front of the linebackers, and Marcus does his thing right here.
Beats Art Akers. Good block there. Avon Riley can't get it. There's Brian Baggett there to make the stop.
I'll tell you, quarterbacks love those. You dump them for 4 yards, the back runs for 15 or 20. I'd
like to take a moment now to tell you about a special event on Channel 7 this coming Monday night. Jerry Dunphy, the finest newsman in America, in my opinion, will ask the questions, and former President Richard Nixon will supply the answers in a live, spontaneous interview exclusively on your station, Channel 7. Jerry's questions will seek out Mr. Nixon's opinions on such things as international relations and 1980 politics. That's Nixon and Dunphy. What a team, live and up front, up close and personal for you. Monday night, right after the Jets and Seahawks battle it out on NFL Monday Night Football here on your station, Channel 7, your station for Southern California. Head coach John Robinson.
I have a lot of respect for Coach Robinson. I had an opportunity to play for him for a year, and he's a fun man to play for, I'll tell you that.
He's a brilliant football strategist and a great motivator. 3 wide receivers out in the pattern. Back to pass is McDonald. Plenty of time again. Complete. The 35-yard line. Out of bounds immediately at number 8. Kevin Williams as Lupe Sanchez makes the stop. Kevin Williams, the speedster from San Fernando High School.
Well, they're running the 2-minute drill to perfection here. Again, we have some motion. Paul McDonald rolls out to one side. He comes back. I don't know, he's done this 4 or 5 times today. Find Kevin Williams running a comeback pattern. Catches the ball and does a very good job of getting out of bounds and stopping the clock. There's another ISO on Kevin Williams, I guess. See Kevin, he's pushing off him. He's got double coverage, really. Man underneath him.
Charlie White. A flag is down. And White is down at the 18-yard line. Referee Bill Love, illegal motion against USC. Minute 23 seconds left to play here in this first half. 28-0 is our score. It's absolutely amazing to me how much time McDonald is getting to throw. He has not been pressured one time this afternoon.
Well, it's a real testament to the offensive line of the Trojans, and we've spoken so much about them. You've heard so much about them, Brad, Bunny, Van Horn, Chris Foote, all those people. But really, as I mentioned earlier in the show, a quarterback cannot do his job unless he's getting that protection, getting that time. Obviously, Paul McDonald is getting superb protection. He's getting a chance to look downfield, to go to his secondary and third receivers. And I'll tell you what, they're going to make Paul McDonald look good. He's a very good quarterback, but it's nice to have those people up front.
1st and 15. From the 36, that's Kevin Williams in motion. 3 wide receivers out on the left side. Williams overthrown. Paul McDonald doesn't like what he sees as Kevin Williams runs up the tunnel.
He might have thought he should have had that one. I'm not sure. You can see his stats there, 11 out of 14 for 143 yards. There's an interesting pattern there. They put Williams in the backfield, sent him in motion. And here we go again. It's a flood route with 3 wide receivers. Williams just running a corner route. McDonald lays the ball up. It's a little bit outside. Good coverage there. Very good coverage.
2nd down and 15. To White. Missed a tackle at the line of scrimmage. To the 24-yard line. Lupe Sanchez finally makes a stop, and John Robinson wants more as he calls timeout. 55 seconds left to play. It doesn't look to me like USC is in their 2-minute drill. They don't look like they run on those kind of plays.
Well, this is the first run they ran. They did run some routes. They've run a number of routes. You notice they're calling the timeout. So I think what's certainly in the back of their minds is that 21-0 lead at the half against Stanford. And they've got 28 points now, but they want to really get it out of the way if they can. But UCLA is a fine team. They're worried about a comeback, I'm sure, in the second half. But they're going after it right now. They're going to try to get some more points. There's no question about that.
Pat, as we take a look at head coach John Robinson and his fine senior quarterback Paul McDonald, are you impressed with McDonald enough to make him a first-round draft choice in the pros?
As long as he doesn't come to the Rams. Yes, yeah, I think Paul, I'm a real fan of his. I'll tell you, I've known him since high school. I've watched him since high school. He is very, very cool young man, a very nice young man, and very, very intelligent. He's won a number of academic awards as well as athletic awards, and he handles his offense very, very well. He is doing a lot more for the SC offense than I did when I was there. He's allowed to audibilize the line quite a bit. He's certainly throwing the ball a lot more, is extremely accurate, and he carries himself very well.
A 3.7 grade point average in business administration. He almost went to the University of California at Berkeley. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. To White. White has the first down. Easily there to make the stop, along with Lupe Sanchez.
A good call there, even though it is a 2-minute drill. They needed to get the first down. It was 3rd and 2, so they ran a running play in order to get the first down. Now I expect you'll see them throw the ball here.
McDonald wants timeout again. USC still has one more timeout as you see Charles White and his fullback Marcus Allen, number 33. 29 is a freshman, Jeff Simmons out of Stockton. 66 you see there as a freshman, Bruce Matthews came in at the last minute to replace the injured Rod Mosbar. 86 is Raymond Butler. 26, Danny Garcia, and now White's going off the field.
You know, Tim, one of the nice things I think about the USC team, as well as a number of things we talked about, is the way McDonald and White have carried themselves throughout the season. They've gotten most of the recognition, most of the credentials, and deservedly so. But they've always been the first ones to admit that they wouldn't be as good without the people around them, and so on and so forth.
Pat, you see the man there in the hat. Well, we just missed the shot of it, but the fellow standing right behind Charlie White there in the white is Dr. John Hubbard. This is his last USC-UCLA game. He's the president of USC, retiring at the end of this year.
What a nice man he is. I was at the university when he was there.
1st and 10. Butler and Garcia split out wide to the left side. That's Kevin Williams in motion. Williams had lined up as the tailback in the I. McDonald for the end zone. Garcia's there at the 2-yard line. Kenny easily makes a stop, but Danny Garcia coming in and doing a little in pattern across the middle has got it first and goal at the 2-yard line with 42 seconds left to play here in the first half. Now UCLA wants timeout to regroup their defense.
It's insanity. That's what it is, insanity.
Watch it here, Danny Garcia, number 26.
You'll see that he goes down, just a simple down and across route. Pat, why don't you take it? But he's hit right on his break. It's a beautifully thrown ball.
It is a very well thrown ball, and it was, again, 3 wide receivers again, Kevin Williams in motion, but he comes over the middle. The ball is right where it should be. Kenny Easley there, of course, making the play, but after the fact.
The key was number 9, Avon Riley, just slipped just for a second on the turn. Garcia made the good turn, and McDonald hit him with a great pass.
Again, McDonald having all kinds of time to throw.
You talk about intensity in a game like this. You got SC in their 2-minute offense running down the field and trying to get in for the score. And you got UCLA calling timeout because they can't get the right people on the field.
Look at that. Total offense, 288 to 99. You know, Danny Garcia is an interesting story. He was born in Seoul, Korea. Went to Los Angeles High School. Pierce Junior College, who was an All-American in junior college. See, he was offered lots of scholarships to a lot of schools around the country. He said there was never any question in his mind he wanted to go to USC. Why, Mark? Because he wanted to win and go to the Rose Bowl.
That's a good enough reason. He could have asked me. I could have told him that.
Head coach Jerry Donahue at UCLA there along the sidelines. Reminder, you're listening to Channel 7. This is Ted Dawson, along with Mark Harmon, the former UCLA quarterback. That's John Robinson. Pat Hayden, the former USC quarterback, joining us here in the booth. Ed Arnold, Tony Hernandez down on the field. First and goal. Will White get his 3rd touchdown? He's got a shot. Charlie White. Touchdown, Charlie White. The 19th touchdown this season rushing for Charles White. Up his 19th touchdown, his 4th of the afternoon. His 4th touchdown of the afternoon as Eric Hipp goes for the extra point. It's good. With 38 seconds left to play in the first half, USC has taken an unbelievable 35-0 lead over UCLA.
Yeah, I guess, but right now I wish I went to Oklahoma.
They won today. A big victory.
Yeah, I know. I knew that before I said what I just said.
35-0. USC headed for the Rose Bowl in a date with Ohio State. Ohio State is going to be the number 2 team in the country. Alabama is going to be ranked number 1 at the end of this week. USC is probably going to be number 3. And USC and Ohio State will battle it out for definitely the number 2 spot in the country. And if Alabama can get knocked off in one of the Bear Bryant Bowls, well, it could be all for number 1. I tell you, I hope we have a long halftime show to be able to show the highlights. 38 seconds left to play here in the first half.
Ted, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with UCLA at halftime, what they're going to do in the second half. They're in a very tough position, obviously, now down by 35 points. But it's going to be fun to see what happens when they come out in the second half. See if they get something generated, maybe make some changes, and let it hang out. Really.
Rod Kerr. Oh, I checked it. Eric Hipp is going to kick off. Short kick. Council at the 10. The reverse to Dokie Williams. To the 25. Williams to the 40. And down at the 44-yard line. Dokie Williams, number 30.
That's great. I like to see that. I mean, again, they've got to do something now.
Why not?
One more time.
Get an end zone look for me here. You can tell by UCLA's configuration on the kickoff here that it looks like they're expecting a center return. The ball is squib kicked, perhaps breaking up the timing a little bit. And I think Dokie Williams had an alley, but it took a little bit too long to develop. You can see he's got his wall of blockers in front of him. That's SC's kicker coming through to close it off.
The tackle on the play made by Joey Browner. Gain of a couple. And the UCLA fans don't like that one.
Apparently Terry has decided that the most effective thing to do is to go back into halftime only 35 points down and try to discuss this thing out reasonably.
Regroup intelligently. 10 seconds left to play here, and now UCLA calls timeout as Tom Ramsey comes over to talk with head coach Terry Donahue. 67 yards and 7 plays for the USC touchdown in the 2-minute drill, Pat.
I'd say it's a very valuable part of any team's offense, and USC really did show us how well they run it. And it's really kind of a fun thing for the quarterback to run a 2-minute drill. You're out there, you're calling your plays, you call a couple plays in the huddle. Usually defenses are playing pretty loose, so you have an opportunity to dump the ball off and let receivers run with the ball. And, you know, it's funny because people watch 2-minute drills and say, hey, why don't those teams do that all game long? Because it seems every time you watch a 2-minute drill, people always march down the field. Well, as I mentioned, defenses do play off a little bit looser, and it's not quite as easy as it looks.
With Charlie White finishing up his regular season collegiate career in this sort of fashion, 4 touchdowns so far, do you think the Heisman is a done thing, Pat Hayden?
Well, if I were voting, I know where my vote would go. I'm a little biased, I admit that, but he's really had a phenomenal career. And
I've already voted.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. But I can't think of too many people more who deserve it more. Billy Sims, of course, is a big candidate. He won it last year. I don't think he's having the year that he had last year.
Had a big afternoon today, though. Ramsey still in at quarterback. Prevent defense for USC. Ramsey just throws it deep. He's got Townsend down there, but it was broken up at the last minute by Dennis Smith, number 49. There are 4 seconds left to play in the first half.
Get a second look here.
4 seconds left to play here in the first half. As Townsend went down deep, he was open for a minute. But Dennis Smith knocks it away at the last minute. 4 seconds left to play here in the first half. 35-0 the score. Ramsey on 3rd down and still 8 yards to go. Again he throws long. Intended for Doki Williams, intercepted. Ronnie Lott with his 2nd interception of the day. To the 40. Still on his feet, trying to get some running room. The 50. The half is ended. Lott finally goes down at the 30-yard line, and Ronnie Lott has his 2nd interception of the day. His first went for a touchdown. Well, that's the way they end the first half here at the LA Coliseum with the score 35-0. USC on top of UCLA. Ted Dawson, along with Mark Harmon and Pat Hayden, 35-0 our halftime score. Pat, your team's leading.
Ready to change to all white cards. All white cards ready. 1, 2, 3, change.
The ball game, but they come back and play beautifully since. UCLA had a hand a couple times, and McDonald and White have been the story again.
Mark, I don't think there's any question about it. Nobody doubted that USC was the better overall team coming into this ball game. Everybody knew that UCLA had to play the kind of first half that USC played to have any chance, and UCLA is just not doing it.
I think that's true, Ted. I think in a situation like this, you've got to play flawless football, and on UCLA's behalf, you've got to take a lot of chances that you haven't taken all season. And UCLA has been taking those chances, but they haven't even been getting that going. Nothing's been going offensively for them. Their defense has been on the field an awful long time, and SC, let's face it, is playing very impressive football.
Let me put you in a spot. If you were Tom Ramsey and had played the first half that you played and knew a senior Rick Bayshore was on the bench, do you think that Bayshore should be playing?
Well, I don't believe it's Tom Ramsey's decision. Ramsey's a competitor, as is Bayshore, as is anybody who's playing major college football as a quarterback. But I think the coaches make a decision like that, and I don't think, in fairness to Tom, and I think you probably agree with it, you can't go wrong asking Bayshore to come off the bench like this. He certainly can't do any more damage than has been done already.
Let me ask you if you want to reevaluate a statement you made at the top of this broadcast, that Terry Donahue was in no danger of losing his job. If he gets blown out, as he has been so far by USC, does that change your opinion?
Tough question. I will stick by Terry's side. I don't think qualified to even answer this, Ted, but my opinion would be that he is going to be at UCLA as long as he decides to be there. And this is not to take anything away from Ramsey or from SC, who's playing good football. They really are.
What do you do if you're UCLA in the second half?
go back in and consider not coming out. I don't know.
A high school team did that here a couple of years ago. They just didn't come out for the second half. Do you give the ball to McNeil? He had some good runs. Ramsey threw, as Pat Hayden mentioned several times, Ramsey threw the ball well. It's just that USC is such an incredibly fine defensive team so far in this ball game.
Well, like you say, they haven't been able to make anything work. If you can't make your running game work, you in turn can't make your passing game work, and they haven't been able to get either started.
Pat, let me talk to you about USC. You're ahead 35-0. You're headed for the Rose Bowl. You got Charlie White trying to go for the Heisman Trophy. You got some other players, Kevin Williams trying to be All-American, Paul McDonald trying to be All-American. Do you let them play in the second half, or do you let some of your younger kids play?
Well, I think certainly they're going to come out with the first team again at the beginning of the second half. What's going to happen if they score perhaps one more time? They might bring in the reserve. But at the end of the game, I expect to see Charlie White come back in, to see Paul McDonald come back in, to get a send-off here from the home crowd. It is, as I mentioned earlier, they are seniors. It's their last game here. And Coach Robinson's big on that kind of tradition. He's going to let them come out for the last hurrah.
Pat, you know, we talk a lot about Charlie White and Paul McDonald, but I think the key to this game today has been the defense.
Well, the SC defense has been superb, and as we mentioned many times already, the matchup between UCLA's running game and SC's defense against the run is in SC's favor, because that's what they do best. UCLA is not a good catch-up team. Their passing attack is not strong, and this is what they're going to have to do in the second half, so I'm afraid they're going to be mismatched again.
Pat Hayden and Mark Harmon, that's their comments here at halftime. Let's go down on the field and pick up some of the color of the bands. Or down on the field, that's the UCLA band down there. Of course, USC standing by as we bring you exclusive coverage of USC against UCLA from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. I'm Ted Dawson. Mark Harmon's here. Pat Hayden's here. The UCLA band's here. Tony Hernandez is down on the field. Ed Arnold is down on the field to bring you the big game, the big crosstown rivalry between USC and UCLA.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
35-0 as the USC-UCLA football game is being brought to you by Chevrolet and your participating Chevy dealers, who invite you to come take a special test drive during Chevy's National Economy Drive. By IBM, helping put information to work for people. And by Stanley, makers of tools, hardware, drapery wear, and garage door openers. We want to help you do things right. Kickoff for the second half. UCLA with their chance to kick off for the first time this afternoon. We'll be running through some of the halftime statistics for you. That's Norm Johnson, number 49. Raymond Butler, back deep. Johnson waiting till the bands get completely off the field. Now they're set to go. It goes out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. That's Michael Hayes, number 25, back there to let it go out of bounds. Raymond Butler, Michael Hayes, and Marcus Allen back deep. Take a look at the total domination of USC in the first half. Unbelievable.
The only thing that's surprising to me is that UCLA hasn't had the ball more than that. That the time of possession isn't that unbalanced.
There aren't too many unbalances in there the whole way. In the matchups, you got McNeil with 64 yards and White with 90, and that's about as drastic as it gets.
Charlie White on his way to a possible Heisman Trophy, certainly to an All-American berth. Has picked up 90 yards. As you take a look at Rick Bayshore, the senior, the question is, he may get his chance to start here in the second half. This is his last half of football. 9 touchdowns. He threw a big 81-yard touchdown to Severn Reese in last year's USC-UCLA game.
Perhaps had his finest game ever as a Bruin against SC when he was a sophomore.
Johnson's kickoff goes to Hayes in the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. The UCLA defense, Mark Tuanay, Mark Ferguson, just a freshman. Martin Moss, the right tackle out of San Diego, a good tough-hitting kid. Larry Hall is the linebacker out of Costa Mesa. Scott Stotch is out of Grants Pass, Oregon. Was intended to go to University of Washington, decided to go to UCLA instead.
About going to UCLA.
1st and 10, USC from the 20-yard line. In motion is Rakshani. He comes to the right side, now goes back to the left as you take a look at a tight shot of Paul McDonald to give us to White. White tries to get outside. and he's close to the first down at the 30-yard line. Tom Sullivan runs him out of bounds. The defensive secondary for the UCLA Bruins, Arthur Akers, he's a middle linebacker, a tough kid. Avon Riley, also a middle linebacker. Hi to you. Tom Sullivan, just a freshman out of Northridge. He's the one that just ran White out of bounds. Luque Sanchez, another freshman out of Visalia, California. Went to high school. Brian Baggett, take a look at Brian Baggett. Luque Sanchez went to high school with Don Mosbar and Kenny Easley, the Easley All-American out of Chesapeake, Virginia. First and 10, right at the 30-yard line. Again, Rakshani comes in motion to the right side. To White. Hit at the line of scrimmage and down by Mark Tuanei. Tuanei is just a sophomore out of Nanakuli, Oahu, Hawaii. The offensive line for you, they're the backfield for USC. McDonald, White, Allen, Williams, and Garcia, the same people who started the ball game. The offensive line, you see it there. Bruce Matthews is the only freshman. A good, tough, big offensive line. Charlie White has now had 30 games in his career over 100 yards. Looking for 100, or he just picked up his 100 as the pass goes to White. White has got an even 100 on the day as Tom Sullivan makes the stop on Charlie White.
You know, Charlie's caught 3 or 4 balls, too, and shows his value to the team. He can do a lot of different things.
Charlie had caught 16 for 103 yards. Used primarily as a short receiver. You saw some of the swing passes. As a matter of fact, the first 2 plays of the game were swing passes to White out of the backfield. Paul McDonald, number 16, brings the team up to the line of scrimmage. That's number 62, Chris Foote, a fine, hard-blocking center. McDonald to pass. Downfield to Garcia, incomplete. Brian Baggett on the defense. Pass was pretty well thrown.
I'll tell you, Paul McDonald has such a nice touch on the football. You know, Mark, even though that ball wasn't caught, it certainly is in the general vicinity, but every ball he throws is just so nicely thrown, nice touch, easy to catch ball.
Does he have the zip on it that it takes to be a pro?
I think he does when he needs it, but he certainly hasn't needed it today because he's had that type of protection, get open, and he can just kind of lob the ball in there.
Tom Sullivan back deep for the Bruins. Standing at his 30-yard line. Pryor's kick, fair catch. Called for at the 31. 13:55 left to play here in the third quarter. 36-yard punt. We'll be back in just 1 minute. The officials got together, and a 15-yard penalty has been chalked off against UCLA. USC still has the ball because of an illegal substitution by UCLA. First and 10, Trojans at the 49-yard line. Charlie White turns the corner at the 50, 45 to the 40. Brian Baggett up off the bottom of the pile as Charlie White picks up another 12 yards.
Don't you get the feeling that he's going to break off one of these for a long run, one of these plays? Every time he really gets that ball, gets to the defensive secondary, you believe that, don't you, Mark?
You can almost feel it in the audience, Pat. You can feel everybody kind of hold their breath. They see that daylight, and you know Charlie's thinking about it.
Yeah. White's got 18 touchdowns so far this year. His longest run has been 68 yards. He's averaging 6.24 yards a run. That's Rakshani coming to the right side. To Marcus Allen. On the trap, he gets to the 34.
You know, you mentioned Marcus will probably be the tailback next year. I know he's going to be looking forward to that after blocking so often and so well for Charlie White, but he's looked awfully good as a running back when he carries the ball at fullback.
He is a very good blocker for a guy who is 196 pounds below fullback weight. Second down, 2 yards to go. McDonald to pass. The end zone. Incomplete. Is it intercepted? Yes. Interception by the freshman from Crespi High School, Tom Sullivan. And there's an injured Bruin down on the field. Tom Sullivan with the interception. That's the second turnover of the afternoon for USC. Kenny Easley is injured on the field. Kenny Easley, the All-American safety, is down in the end zone. As you take a look at Tom Sullivan, number 32. That's Easley. And how much more wrong can go for UCLA, Mark?
Oh, I don't know. That looks like his right knee. They got Ducky Drake and Larry Carter out there with Dr. Feinerman. And anytime you see somebody go off under assistance, you have to start to worry. Favoring that right knee.
Easily. That's one of the things that's been so great about him throughout his collegiate career is how healthy he's been. He is just a sensational football player. That is the first pass interception that McDonald has thrown. He had thrown 143 straight completions. And Rick Bayshore has come in. Look, Kenny Easley, how tough a kid is he? Easley is going off in his own power as Rick Bayshore comes in to play quarterback.
Nice to see Rick get a chance, being a senior's last opportunity here. And as you mentioned earlier, Mark, he had that superb game against SC a couple years back.
Out of Edison High School in Fountain Valley, a 6 foot, 186-pound senior, Willie Curran, goes in motion to the right. To McNeil. McNeil right at the line of scrimmage. An inauspicious beginning as Dennis Johnson makes the stop for USC. Rick Bayshore playing his last game in a UCLA uniform. Kinesiology major. Second down, 9 yards to go. Two wide receivers out on the right. Doki Williams. Back to pass is Bayshore. Bayshore throws complete to the 40. 50. Is he gone? Touchdown, JoJo Townsell. 79-yard touchdown run for JoJo Townsell, the freshman out of Reno, Nevada. Rick Bayshore. I talked about an inauspicious beginning. The quarterback with the 1-yard run by Freeman McNeil. Well, that made up for it. His first pass of the game, 79 yards to JoJo Townsell.
Get a second look at it here. We're isolated on USC's backers, and they're in a blitz. Nothing very fancy.
Number 56.
Right, Bayshore, little curl pattern to the outside, and Townsend just broke it away.
Peter Bormeister. Bormeister has made 58 straight extra points. So UCLA gets first blood here in the second half with 12:06 left to play. The score 35-7. Back after this. 35-7 our score. Here's the touchdown, Mark.
Nothing fancy. Little play action, straight drop back. USC in a blitz. Little curl route to the outside. Townsend breaks it clean. There's nobody catching him from behind.
Let's go to live action on the kickoff. That's Michael Hayes to the 30, to the 40, and run out of bounds by Scott Stotch, number 44.
Ted, this might turn out to be a typical USC-UCLA game yet.
Well, I'll tell you, there's 93,000 fans here at the Coliseum, and none of them have left yet. Stotch looks like he's shaken up as he goes out of bounds. Stotch is just a junior. He's out of Grants Pass, Oregon. A 41-yard return for Michael Hayes.
One thing, too, we mentioned UCLA making some plays early on in the first half. Well, they come out in the second half now, and they had an interception, and they had a big offensive play. So they are starting to make some things happen. I hope it's not too late.
Mark, do you see Kenny Easley in the defensive lineup?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Easley is back in.
He's limping, but he's there.
An 80-yard drive, a two-play 80-yard drive, a 79-yard touchdown pass from Rick Bayshore to JoJo Townsell. The freshman takes the pass from the senior. You gotta love Proctor Hug High School. That's where JoJo Townsell went to school. Charles White. Hit at the 50, a good hit by Easley. Is he hurt?
He is absolutely amazing.
Martin Moss also in there with a good stop. Avon Riley.
There's an interesting matchup going on here that might not show up on the stats, and that's between Paul McDonald and Kenny Easley. Pat, you mentioned earlier that upon play action faking SC, your first read is usually strong or free safety.
Easley right there for the hit.
Well, Kenny seems to be around the ball, whether it's pass or run.
2nd and 3. The give is to Marcus Allen. Allen does not get the first down as he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Arthur Akers and Mark Ferguson. Akers is a junior. Ferguson, a freshman, make the stop.
Some credits to UCLA's defense. Again, they are down by 35 points to come out. They're still hitting. They're aggressive.
And it's important here also, I think, Pat, that even though SC is ahead by such a large margin, that they not get conservative in a situation like this.
You're absolutely right. Visions of Stanford. That's just what happened then.
10:56 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Vic Ruckshani wide to the right side. James Hunter has come in to play tight end now, I see. To White. I don't think he got it. Avon Riley right there to plug up the hole. He had to get to 45-yard line. Mark Ferguson comes in to make a little bit of a late hit. The official warns him. Oh, they give him forward progress for the first down.
That would have been a very big play there, Ted, had they stopped him.
1st and 10 from the 45 as Kevin Williams comes to the right side. You take a look at some of the USC cheerleaders. A jam-packed Coliseum. Charles White. And fights his way forward for about 6 yards to the 38-yard line before Martin Moss, the sophomore at Lincoln High School in San Diego, makes a stop. Charlie White, what more can you say? 131 yards, 23 carries, 4 touchdowns.
I'd be tempted to give him the ball again. I don't know about you, Mark.
Why not? It's worked so far.
2nd down and 3. Ruckshani in motion. Intended for Raymond Butler, complete at the 22-yard line. Watch Butler one-on-one, up close and personal.
What a beautiful catch there. He's out there on the outside. He's just driving upfield again. You see, he's pushing his defender, which is very, very important. Makes a sharp cut. He has the defender beaten easily there. The ball's a little bit late and high. Raymond goes up even into the sun and catches the ball, brings it down.
Tom Sullivan with the defensive stop.
Good catch.
Will USC quickly trying to reestablish authority in this ball game? Marcus Allen hit at the line of scrimmage.
It's nice to see them throwing the ball too, Ted, and being aggressive.
Mark Tuanay makes the first stop. Kenny Easley comes in to polish him off. Gain of 2. Kenny Easley, number 5. There you just saw a nice tight shot of him on your screen.
He's been compared to Oakland's Jack Tatum as far as a hitter is concerned, but I think he plays better pass defense.
I'll tell you, pro scouts tell me he could start in the NFL right now. The fake the give. Complete to Allen. Allen hit right at the 12-yard line by Kenny Easley once again, and I don't think he's got the first down. He's going to be close. Easley up off the bottom of the pile, helps Allen up. That's Scott Stiles, number 44. And that's Easley. Easley, close up and personal.
Well, he just reacted. The ball has been thrown, and he's just out there playing free safety, reacting to the ball. Comes over and makes a hit. He's got some help from some UCLA teammates, but he's over there to finish the ball carrier off.
3rd down, a yard to go. Ball at the 12-yard line. In motion is Allen. The pitch to White. White's got the first down. Does he have the touchdown? No. Kenny Easley makes a stop at the 5-yard line. It's incredible how Easley is always around that ball. Let's watch Charles White right in your screen.
Here's the pitch again to Charlie. He's breaking out to make a good cut there, and he gets a good block from one of the guards, I believe. Then he cuts it, breaks it to the outside, trying to turn the juice on, but there number 5 is again Kenny Easley.
Phil Hubbard, number 2, also they're playing.
I'll tell you, we're getting to see an awful lot of Kenny Easley today. But there's one thing, Mark, you know, if your free safeties make a lot of tackles, then something's going wrong.
That's true. They're also weak to the pass in the middle, Pat.
1st and goal from the 5. Ruckshani. It's called the zip-zap formation. They give us to McDonald. Keeps it himself. Throws. Touchdown, Vic Ruckshani. That's his 7th touchdown of the year. McDonald's 17th touchdown pass this season. Rakshani has caught only 8 passes this year, 4 of them for touchdowns.
I got the feeling that McDonald wanted that one throwing instead of running. He had his choice, and he just stretched the defense until they committed.
Well, here's McDonald, the play action fake. He's just rolling, waiting. As Mark said, he's stretching it out. He could have probably run the ball in, but very, very patient. Rakshani makes the catch, touchdown.
Rakshani was moving Tom Sullivan to the inside, just cut out. Sullivan couldn't keep up. Yeah. It's good. 7:36 left to play here in the third quarter. The score, 42-7. Back in just 1 minute. USC reestablishes superiority in this ball game with a 4-minute 30-second drive. It made the score 42-7. As Rod Kerr with his toe tied up. Back deep is Townsend. Townsend takes it 8 yards deep into the end zone. He wants no part of it. First and 10, UCLA from the 20-yard line. Rick Bayshore, who threw a 79-yard scoring strike last time out, will be in at quarterback.
Really happy to see something go well there for Rick Bayshore. It's been kind of a tough year for him, and I feel kind of the same way the beleaguered quarterback. He's had his ups and downs, Mark, but he delivered that last ball very, very well.
Well, he's stuck in there, Pat, and the hardest thing for any quarterback with a state of mind like Rick has is to sit on the bench and watch, and you know that as well as I. That's tough.
This is his 8th game this year. He just threw his 7th touchdown. In motion is Ron DeBose. McNeil has got 2 yards before Herb Ward makes the stop. I'll tell you, you can talk all you want about this vaunted USC offense, but to me, the most impressive thing on the field is I think Freeman McNeil might agree.
I tell you, Freeman McNeil will attest to the fact that they can give you a lesson in gang tackling. Take a look at this on the second view. Freeman breaking outside, and he who hesitates is lost. One
Ricky
dig to the
Gray
outside.
right there. Ricky Gray and Herb Ward right there to make the stop.
Count the red shirts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 58, Mike McDonald out of Burroughs High School in Burbank has checked into the lineup. Second down, 7 yards to go. Curran in motion. Bayshore to pass. Being chased, throws it incomplete. Intended for Freeman McNeil. At that time, Bayshore was under a lot of pressure. Jeff Fisher defending on the play. Let's go to Ed Arnold down on the field. Eddie?
Ted, just before that touchdown play, Marcus Allen suffered a shoulder injury. It's supposed to be not serious. They're checking it now. Evidently, he will be able to go back in the game, but Marcus Allen did get kind of a tough bang.
Ed, thank you very much. It makes it a lot easier when you lead 42-7 to take those kind of bangs and bruises. 6:46 left to play here in the third quarter. A tight shot, a nice tight shot of Rick Bayshore, the senior quarterback. Bayshore stumbles coming from behind his center. He's set to throw. Sets up, complete. From number 91, the tight end, Tim Reitman. Reitman's got the first down and more. Look at him carry Dennis Smith with him across the 50-yard line to the 45. Tim Reitman, who some say is the best tight end in the Pac-10, is an outstanding football player, a sophomore out of Mary Star of the Sea High School.
Here's UCLA coming back. Bayshore wanted Townsend on the sideline, went to secondary receiver Reitman, who many say is the most underestimated tight end in the Pacific 10 Conference, and you can see how strong he is.
Reitman's just a sophomore, picks up 33 yards, and Bayshore has been impressive. McNeil, no place to go. Chip Banks there to meet him, along with Larry McGrew. Also Ronnie Lott, number 42. Boy, Lott's an interesting football player. He intercepted Rich Leach's pass in the Rose Bowl last year, the first pass to set up a USC touchdown. Basketball, baseball player, high school All-American out of Eisenhower High School. Public administration major. Second down, 9 yards to go. Townsend splits wide to the right. In motion is Ron DeBose. Bayshore fakes the give, sets up, still in the pocket, throws incomplete, intended for Townsell, and Townsell was open.
Tell you though, I was really impressed the way Rick stayed in that pocket. You know how tough that is.
That's Townsell. It looks like he's got a cramp in his right leg. JoJo, the freshman out of Reno, Nevada, was open as he split the seams in the USC zone defense. And JoJo's got a little cramp in his right leg.
That's not serious, but it's painful. You try to take the pressure off the muscle that is cramp, and that's what Larry Carter is doing by bending back the toe right now.
You know, we've seen a contrast in the quarterbacks, whereas McDonald has had all day to throw the ball. The UCLA quarterbacks, Ramsey and Bayshore, have been pressured. Even there, he had the guy open, but there was pressure around him.
I wonder, does everybody in our audience remember Guess Who's Coming to Dinner as well as I do? Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, Sidney Poitier, what a cast. It was Katharine Hepburn's second Oscar and Spencer Tracy's final movie for all you nostalgia buffs. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Tonight at 11:30 on your station, Southern California's favorite, Channel 7. 5:34 left to play in the third quarter, 3rd down and 9. Bayshore trying to keep this drive alive, working out of the I formation. Back to pass again. Bayshore across the middle. Reitman is down there, complete at the 10-yard line as he falls forward to the 6. Larry McGrew had to defend the outside linebacker in Reitman, who has done such an outstanding job all season. He's the leading receiver for UCLA with 21 receptions. Watch it again, Mark.
Pat, I think you'll agree it's a beautifully thrown ball and a heck of a catch by Reitman. He raised his hand, just running a straight down route right down the middle. Could not be thrown any better than that.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that is one heck of a throw, Mark.
Should Bayshore have been playing in the first half?
Well, it's easy to sit here and say, yeah, and it looks like that way now, but you go with what you have, and you go with the horses that brought you here originally.
1st and goal from the 7. Good comment, Mark. That's Curran. Fumble. USC's got it. That's Bayshore down on the field. A dejected Rick Bayshore. Ronnie Lott, number 42, came up with a loose ball as Rick Bayshore, who completed 3 out of 5, comes off the field. A tough break for UCLA, who is driving at 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. They turn it over to USC. Back in a minute.
You give him. You give him.
Watch the fumble again. Bayshore never gets it from his center, Brent Boyd.
Didn't look like the ball came up, and Pat, you'll attest to the importance and how often it's overlooked, the quarterback-center exchange.
I think it's Ricky Gray that came up with the loose fumble, number 35.
And perhaps, Mark, because Rick hasn't played the last couple of weeks, that might have an effect on that exchange as well.
1st and 10, 7-yard line. New fullback, Doug McKenzie out of Santa Barbara in the lineup. He's number 39 as Rakshani goes in motion. Charlie White trying to pick up yards to the 11. Stop made by number 6, John Gibbs, a senior out of Houston, Texas. Well, interesting statistic that for the 9th straight game, White has gained at least 140 yards. Incredible. Dennis Mnuchin, the finest stats man in Southern California, providing the statistics this afternoon. He really is. He works for everybody, every network broadcaster around here, and he's the best, the absolute best. Dennis Mnuchin. 2nd down and 7. Charlie White again, right over his right tackle, picks up a couple. Some happy young ladies who are going to Pasadena on New Year's Day.
The All-American candidates, Mark.
Yeah, I wonder how Hernandez would like to come up here and sit in the booth. I'd like to go down there.
I think he might enjoy that. Let's get some scores in for you. Oklahoma over Nebraska, 17-14. Texas over Baylor, 13-0. Tulane beat LSU this afternoon, 24-13. BYU with a 43-7 lead over San Diego State in the 3rd quarter. Tennessee upsets Kentucky, 20-17. Charlie White. Great balance. Picks up the first down to the 18-yard line. Easily makes the stop. Some other scores: Georgia over Georgia Tech, 16-3. Oregon with a convincing lead over Oregon State in the fourth quarter, 24-3. As Craig Fertig is probably more interested in this afternoon's game here with USC over UCLA than he is his Oregon State ball club. Dennis Mnuchin has just come up with another one. 20 games now. Charles White has gone over 150 yards. First and 10. Charlie White building up the yardage. Here with 3:27 left to play. Check it. It was Michael Hayes. Excuse me, Michael Hayes, number 25, as Larry Hall made the stop. Hayes goes out. White comes back in.
You know, Ted, you mentioned some statistics about Charlie White. Not only do you have to be able to carry the ball 30 times, but you have to be able to take all that punishment that goes with those 30 carries, too.
John McKay says it's not heavy. White just gets back to the line of scrimmage, not much more, as Arthur Akers, the inside linebacker, meets him there. He's number 39. Brian Baggett, number 8. And number 9 is Avon Riley for UCLA. Well, they got a lot of people coming back next year. Did you see the clock winding down here in the third quarter? Let's look at this defense. On the front line, 2A is a sophomore, Ferguson's a freshman, Moss is a sophomore. The linebackers, Hall is a junior, Akers is a junior, Riley's a junior, Stotch is a junior. They'll all be back. McDonald to Garcia. Great catch and run out of bounds immediately by Tom Sullivan.
And Ted, you asked if McDonald can zip the ball. There's an opportunity where he did, where he had to, and he delivered the ball. Okay, you see Paul McDonald again, the little half roll. And here he goes back, he drills this ball right in there, right on time, right in front of the defender. Great throw.
Will he go in the first round?
I think he'll go in the first 2 or 3.
Surprised if he goes in the first, though.
No, I won't be surprised at all if he goes in the first.
Charles White. Stop made by Mark 2A. Art Akers, the inside linebacker, is the leading tackler on this UCLA ball club. Perhaps this will describe what's happened to UCLA this afternoon. A sure tackler, a very sure tackler. He never misses, except once in a while.
Yeah, don't feel bad, Art. A lot of guys have missed that guy.
I tackled Virgil Carter 3 times on one play once in college. And he still threw a touchdown pass. Second down, 7 yards to go. Michael Hayes crosses the 45-yard line to the 46. I tell you, Art Akers didn't miss the tackle that time. Let's run through some more of these defensive players for UCLA as you look at Mike Hayes and you watch Art Akers. Go get him, Art. He's mad about missing that tackle. It didn't happen twice in a row. Anyway, the cornerback, Tom Sullivan, is a freshman. Kenny Easley, the safety, is a junior. Brian Baggett is the senior. He's the only one they're losing. Lupe Sanchez is a freshman. 10 of the 11 starters on defense back next year. McDonald. Across the middle, incomplete. Intended for number 38, Paul DeLulo, a fullback out of Boise, Idaho. That'll bring up a 4th down kicking situation for David Pryor. Pryor, who averaged 47 yards a punt in the first half, will get his first chance to punt here in the second half. Kenny Easley back at single safety.
Is there anything Easley doesn't do?
Sell popcorn.
Jeez, he ought to.
Pryor's now trying to kick it away from him. Easley calls for the fair catch, lets it go out of bounds at the 21-yard line. 56 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. 32-yard punt. Let's go to Ed Arnold down on the sidelines. Eddie?
Ted, this person I know you recognize because he happens to be the nation's premier offensive tackle. At least going into the season, the opening game suffered ligament damage, had surgery on it. Anthony Munoz. Anthony, how is the leg?
It's coming along really well. It's close to 100% right now. I've been testing it on the orthotron machine, which they do most of the testing downstairs in the training room, and it's pretty close to being 100% right now.
Are you going to come for the Rose Bowl?
I'll be there, but I don't know if I'll be in street clothes or in the uniform. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, back to you, Ted.
Eddie, let's hope he's in a uniform as Bayshore goes back to pass. He's in trouble. Down he goes in the hands of Myron Lapka at the 13-yard line. Lapka, a 6'4", 245-pound senior out of Chatsworth High School. Coming off shoulder surgery in the offseason. Rick Bayshore shakes his head. Where did he come from? I tell you, this is a tough defensive line. Lapka is 6'4", 245. Ty Sperling is 6', 235 as you look at Rick Bayshore. And Dennis Edwards there is your defensive line at 6'4", 225 pounds. Second down, long yardage, 18 yards to go. Bayshore on the draw to McNeil. Fools a few people. Lott misses a tackle, and finally Chip Banks has to come and make the stop after a great 17-yard gain. Check that, that's McGrew who makes the stop, and McNeil is close to a first down. Dennis Johnson, the leading tackler for USC, a fine inside linebacker. He won't miss a tackle, will he? Not Dennis Johnson. Whoop. Ronnie Lott misses the tackle, but Larry McGrew doesn't. That ends the third quarter here at the Los Angeles Coliseum with a score of 42-7 USC. Back for the final quarter in 1 minute.
Centerfold Playmate tonight at 7.
The USC dressing room awaiting the Rose Bowl bound Trojans immediately following this ball game as we start the fourth quarter here at the Coliseum. Ted Dawson along with Mark Harmon and Pat Hayden. 42-7 is our score in total domination by the USC Trojans. Rick Bayshore trying to change that. He does with that pass to the 49-yard line. On the receiving end, Willie Curran, number 18. Curran's a real speedster as you watch it here. Mark?
Out of Crespi High School, Willie Curran just running a simple down and finding the open spot in the middle route, pushing the defensive back to the outside, curling inside. Nice route, finding the alley, and Bayshore finding Curran.
Curran is a 4.5 sprinter in the 40-yard dash. As a senior at Crespi High School, he had 1,193 yards and 10 touchdowns. McNeil fakes a reverse. Cuts upfield. And finds running room to the 42. Good job by McNeil, who was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Ricky Gray with the stop as you take a look at the third quarter stats. USC still in strong control. Yards passing, though, are close. UCLA coming up, of course, with that big 79-yard touchdown bomb. Total yards, though, 413 yards for USC.
But UCLA really has been gaining the second half. They come out, they've been aggressive. Rick Bayshore has sparked the team some. He's throwing the ball very, very well. And they just need to get a couple more on here and make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, the score 7-7 here in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mark would like to point that out to you.
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure it doesn't matter. The thing is funny, thinking back, how would you like to be in Terry Donahue's shoes? You've had 3 different quarterbacks come off the bench 3 different times during this year and spark rallies.
Yeah, and you know the alumni and the fans are going to be saying, why didn't you play this guy this time? You know, it's very, very tough.
Easy to second guess, right?
It's nice being up in this position, second-guessing people instead of being second-guessed, Ted.
Nobody ever second-guesses you, do they, Pat?
Get him, Pat, get him. It's my chance, huh?
That's right. Take a shot at some of these fans out here, some of the people that write letters, sports writers, sportscasters. Curran in motion. Bayshore on second down and short yardage. He's throwing for Dokie Williams in the end zone, overthrow. Jeff Fisher back there deep. The UCLA fans wanted some interference.
Bayshore's pumped up.
I think it's a well-thrown ball, Pat. Just a fly route down the far sideline, secondary receiver. And the ball is on the money. Williams got in a bit of a pushing match on the sideline, and I think he would have been there otherwise.
I thought, you know, the UCLA fans wanted interference. It looked to me like Williams was the one that was doing the interfering.
I think it could have gone either way.
Third down, and still about 2 feet to go for the first down. Bayshore takes it himself.
You know, that second down call by Terry Donahue, throwing the deep route was a great call because you got second and short, so the giveaway down, he wanted to try to do something with it, especially at this point in the ball game.
First down for UCLA as they're on the drive here in the second half, trying to win. At least there's some fans who know how to come to a football game. UCLA trying to salvage some pride out of this ball game here in the second half. Yeah, the USC band. I'll tell you, it's an outstanding band, too. They're a good group.
They have a lot of fun.
Willie Curran in motion. Bayshore. The pass again. Sets up, throws, complete at the 25-yard line. The number 25, Scott Teasing. Teasing out of Portland, Oregon. 6'5", 216-pound sophomore.
Teasing was one of the most highly recruited athletes on UCLA's team 2 years ago. Bayshore finding him under good pressure and a blitz. Teasing going up in the air, bringing it down.
High school All-American. In high school, he had 62 receptions for 1,285 yards and 15 touchdowns.
You know, the receiver did a good job of finding that dead spot in between the zone there, Mark, you know, and Bayshore again fired that ball. Really impressed the way he's firing the ball.
First down at the 25. That's DeBose in motion to McNeil. McNeil needs a block. He doesn't get it as Herb Ward runs him out of bounds. McNeil has been a marked man all afternoon. I don't know how close he is to the 97 yards. Well, he's still 16 yards away from breaking the single-season school record. There's a young lady that'd like to see him do it. There's a young lady who would like to see him not do it. Hey, an outstanding job for the guys down there in the truck. Bayshore. Complete to McNeil. To the 10. Good job to the 4-yard line. He did a little move on Jeff Fisher, and Fisher still can't believe it. Go get a new uniform, Freeman.
Good look at Rick Bayshore here. I tell you, in seconding what Pat said earlier, Rick is very fired up here. He's got the swing back over the middle, finds Freeman McNeil. McNeil just trying to find that goal line. Nice juke there to get by one guy, and if he could have just kept his feet, he would have been in there. But Bayshore's fired up. He's down there pumping his team, and I know at one point during the season that was a big consideration of Terry's Rick's leadership quality, which he certainly has plus up here.
First and goal from the 4, and I'll tell you, the UCLA fans are on their feet. They haven't given up yet. DeBose in motion. McNeil gets the pitch to the 3. Dennis Johnson there on the stop. Dennis Smith on the stop. Excuse me, it was Anthony Edgar, number 3, getting the new uniform. Now McNeil comes back into the ball game.
Real testament to Terry Donahue's team, too, and Rick Bayshore bringing these people back. They're still out there fighting. The game is a little bit out of reach, but they're still plugging away.
Second down and goal from the 3. McNeil over his right tackle to the 1.
You know, Pat, this is where pride gets involved right in here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Ricky Gray with the defensive stop. As you look at Freeman McNeil. USC Rose Bowl, that's right.
Mark, this is a tough call here, 3rd and 2 on the 2. You know, down here, SC has been very successful this year in blitzing their corners and safeties from the outside. And it'll be interesting to see what Terry Donahue's got called here.
Got an overshift to the wide side of the field.
McNeil stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Number 78, George Achika, the freshman out of San Jose. 4th down.
I don't think they'll be kicking any field goals.
Achika, 6'5", 260-pound freshman. He's number 78.
And as I mentioned, Mark, you saw the corners did come there. Wouldn't be surprised to see him come again.
There's a junior fullback, Jairo Penarante, in there. He's out of Burbank. He's doing the blocking for Freeman McNeil, number 22. In motion is Curran. This is it. 4th down. Bayshore to pass. Throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Knocked away by Herb Ward. Pass was intended for Willie Curran, and Herb Ward showing the pride, despite the fact that they're leading 42-7, knocks it away. That's right, Herb, you did it. Rick Bayshore looks like he's limping off to the sideline. Rick Bayshore coming to the sideline. USC leads it 42-7, back in 1 minute.
You can...
Some young ladies who are going to Pasadena on New Year's Day to root for their USC Trojan team against Ohio State. McDonald from the 1. Rakshani in motion. White gets the call and runs right into the line of scrimmage. Making the stop for UCLA is number 78, Dan Dufour. Starting Monday, the 3:30 movie on Channel 7 features Alien Invaders Week. Monday's film features Steve McQueen in his first starring role in The Blob. Alien Invaders Week all next week on the 3:30 movie. There's talk that story is not about me, Pat.
Oh. No. Did Mark Harmon work in that, though?
No, but Steve McQueen tried to buy up every copy of that movie that was ever made.
That's an absolutely true story as Charles White fights his way out across the 10-yard line, close to a first down. Well, Steve ought to really enjoy it Monday afternoon on Channel 7.
You know, Mark, the thing that really strikes me now as we watch the end of this ball game, and it looks like SC is going to go to the Rose Bowl again. I had an opportunity to play in a few Rose Bowl, and I really do regret that everybody in the Pac-10 didn't get an opportunity to play there, because it is a very, very special game, and it means an awful lot. And you know, I know you didn't get an opportunity to, and I think you missed something, but it's a shame. It really is. It's a tremendous ball game.
Obie Brenner splits out wide to the left side along with Vic Rakshani. 1st and 10. Charles White on every carry to the 20, to the 25. Brian Baggett and Phil Hubbard making the stop.
That Rose Bowl is a true preseason, postseason classic, Pat, and I know from spending some time with you and J.K. McKay and looking at your giant rings and those watches and all. Good look at Charlie White.
83 yards for Charles White. He's had 5 straight games over 200. Will he make it 6? McDonald's going to go to him every down. He fights his way back to the line of scrimmage and gets a yard more as Scott Stotts makes the stop.
Yeah, it's just a shame they don't have to play Rose Bowl 2 or 3 times a year so everybody get a chance to go. It's that much fun.
Yeah, I imagine.
You think that's why the Midwest schools, the Ohio States, the Michigans have had trouble? Seriously, because it is a lot of fun. They come out here and get caught up in the fun, Pat?
Well, it's not too much fun when you're playing for Woody Hayes.
2nd down and 9. The give to the fullback, McKenzie. Doug McKenzie picks up 3 or 4 yards. And looks like that is Rakshani, Vic Rakshani, who's injured on the play.
This is what you really hate to see at this time of the ball game. People like this going down.
I'll tell you, John Robinson's out there looking at it. There's a young man who plans to go to USC someday. There's 8:36 left to play in this ball game. You see the score. We'll be back in just a minute.
Brother Dominic, I need...
Vic Rakshani, and the most unhappy sight in football, getting a pat in the hand from Brian Baggett. He looks like he is seriously injured his left knee, and he's being carried off the field. Vic Rakshani, a 6'3", 230-pound junior out of Edison High School in Huntington Beach, transfer from San Jose State, gets a big hand from the Trojan fans. Vic Rakshani, how seriously is he hurt? Will he play in the Rose Bowl? We won't know. But look at this shot. That's his head coach, John Robinson, holding his hand on the ground during the timeout.
And he really cares about those people, Ted.
I'll tell you, he is an outstanding football coach. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. McDonald to Marcus Allen. Allen out of the tailback position, fumbles the ball. And UCLA's got it. Coming up with the loose ball for UCLA is number 89, Mike Barbie. Barbie out of Sacramento, just a freshman, 6'3", 235 pounds. Watch it again. Marcus doesn't quite get the good handoff.
It was a sloppy handoff there. Marcus gets into traffic. The ball's being carried loosely. Ball comes loose on the tackle, and there's the UCLA players there to pounce on it.
Joe Gary is the man that made the hit. Bayshore stays in at quarterback. Ron DeBose in motion to McNeil. McNeil tries to get outside on Herb Ward and does. Charlie White trying to get over 200 yards. Freeman McNeil trying to get over 113 yards. And he's lost a uniform again. Let's go to Ed Arnold. Eddie?
You know, Ted, it's been just 2 years now since you'll recall that last-second field goal that won the game for USC that upset UCLA, kept them from going to the Rose Bowl. This young man standing beside me, Frank Jordan, made that kick. What do you think of today's game?
I think it's one heck of a game. It's a typical UCLA-USC football game that's really hard-hitting. And luckily for SC, they jumped up to a big lead in the first half. And UCLA struggling, though, in the second half. They're coming back. They're playing really hard.
Good, Frank. Thank you very much. Back to you, Ted.
Thank you, Eddie. Anthony Edgar picks up the first down for UCLA as Brad Streelman, a senior out of Valley Christian High School in Artesia, makes the stop. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Edgar stays in the ball game, along with Jairo Penaranda. Bayshore to pass. Being chased, throwing for the end zone, overthrown, intended for JoJo Townsell. Ronnie Lott back there on defensive coverage with Herb Ward. Freeman McNeil has carried the ball 26 times for 105 yards so far, so he needs 8 more to break the single-season rushing record for UCLA. It was set by Wendell Tyler, who, of course, now Pat Hayden's teammate with the Los Angeles Rams. But Tyler did it in 12 games. This is Freeman's 11th. Freeman's, of course, got another year. Will he be the Heisman Trophy candidate next year? You'll bet he'll be the candidate. 2nd down and 10. Bayshore fakes the give to Edgar. And he had his hand hit just as he threw the ball. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, it's a little tough to complete passes like that. Ye old gopher ball.
Eric Scoggins, the one in to hit Bayshore.
Yeah, you get a rush like that, its arm gets hit, boy.
Just got his hand on it.
You need those people up front.
3rd down and 10. 42-7 the score. However, if you can look just at the second half, which obviously you can't, UCLA has played tough. They have refused to give up. They have kept challenging. And they have fought USC to a standoff here in the second half. Curran in motion to the left side. On 3rd down and 10. Bayshore's got a pass. He's being rushed. He gets it off, complete, and out of bounds is JoJo Townsell. He's got the first down. It's 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. And Bayshore was hit hard on the play. Eric Scoggins and Dennis Edwards really leveled it.
We take a little look at a blind side here, and Pat, I think you'll agree that Bayshore is doing the most with the little time that he has.
You're absolutely right.
JoJo Townsell, the freshman out of Reno.
He's pushing on the defensive back again. It's that out pattern. He certainly beat the defender there. Ball delivered well again. He keeps his feet in bounds and gets out of bounds.
Not a bad freshman receiver.
Not too bad at all.
Dilkey Williams checks into the UCLA lineup now. Williams goes in motion. Bayshore. Touchdown, JoJo Townsell.
I'll tell you, I don't know if we got a close-up of that, but Bayshore really took a hit that time.
What a hit. Number 94, Byron Darby, leveled Rick Bayshore as he got the pass off. Watch it right here.
Second look right here. Watch the concentration. Blindside hit again from the backside.
Yeah, Bayshore is really showing some courage because he's getting hit every time he throws the ball.
Good concentration by Townsell, too. He had to look the ball right into his hands. Bormeister. He's perfect. He's hit 59 straight extra points with 7:37 left to play here in the ball game. UCLA is leading USC 14-7 in the second half, but not in the ball game. If you're from UCLA, you still have something to smile about. Basketball season is coming up.
And Mark is enrolling in undergraduate courses next week.
Mark Harmon, along with Pat Hayden, I'm Ted Doss, and I'll tell you, we've had fun bringing this game to you this afternoon here on Channel 7. It's been an exclusive presentation of your station, Channel 7 for Southern California.
I'll tell you what, Ted, those people down the truck have been awfully nice for us. It's been, I'm not too experienced in this, but they've been easy to work with.
They try the chip shot on the onside kick. Raymond Butler has it at the 25. Butler to the 30. And Butler down at the 40-yard line. The USC band, they're loving it. I'll tell you, I want to give some credit here where credit is due. John Severino, the Vice President General Manager of KABC TV Channel 7, went to a lot of effort, went to a lot of work, went to a lot of expense to get this game broadcast to you. Of course, you know the NCAA rules did not permit UCLA to be on national television. John Severino went to bat with the NCAA, went to bat with ABC, and got this game on local television for you. And he deserves all the credit. McDonald to White. Can White get 200 yards? Not like that. Yvonne Riley, the junior out of Savannah, Georgia, transfer from College of the Canyons, makes the stop.
You know, Ted.
How are they doing? Well, Charles White is going to the Rose Bowl. That says it all. Second down. Still 8 yards to go. McDonald with the left-handed pass. Is he going to be sacked for the first time? Not yet. Paul McDonald fumbles the ball. UCLA's got it. Yvonne Riley comes up with a loose ball. Number 9, Yvonne Riley. And I was just going to talk, Pat, about what an outstanding job Paul McDonald did, stretching out that defense, looking for the open room, and a great run when he dropped the ball. You talk to us.
Well, you're right. He should have tucked it away after he started running the ball. He can't find anybody open to get some pressure on him. He steps out, does a good job of breaking the tackle. Well, then when he turns upfield here, you see the ball. He's got the ball in one hand. When he cuts back in here, see, he's got to pull it in and hold on to it. He does tuck it away there. The helmet just hits the ball. It comes out, and UCLA's there to recover.
John Gibbs, the man making the hit. Ron DeBose in motion. Base short to McNeil. McNeil tries to turn the corner. He does. And Dennis Edwards hits him at the 45-yard line. McNeil falls forward to the 47.
You know, before we get too far along here, Ted, we have to remember these young players right here are student athletes, and they've done I think both head coaches have done an excellent job of making sure these kids are going to class and graduating. I think of the 9 seniors in USC, 6 will graduate on time. And I think UCLA is pretty much the same way.
Pat, that's an interesting statistic. Freeman McNeil has just broken the UCLA single-season rushing mark set by Wendell Tyler 2 years ago. And he picked up the first down in the process. 115 yards this afternoon for Freeman McNeil.
You know, Ted, in an average offense with both backs carrying, total breaking 1,000 yards is saying something. And here on the field, we've got 2 backs who have both gone well into 1,000 yards all by themselves.
Our spotter, Jeff Bellinger, corrects me. Tyler set the record 4 years ago for UCLA. First and 10. Fake short to throw. Downfield, Reitman is open, incomplete. In and out of the hands of number 49, Dennis Smith. Reitman was open for a while at about the 35-yard line, but all of a sudden it got very, very crowded with Dennis Smith and Ronnie Lott.
This is the same play that Reitman and Bayshore teamed up on earlier, but this time SC's got it covered. The ball is not well thrown, and 3-on-1 aren't good odds in anybody's league.
Eric Scoggins, number 81, also back there covering. That's Tim Reitman. He'll be back next year. He's just a sophomore. He was recruited by USC, by Notre Dame. His mom wanted him to go to USC, as a matter of fact. 6:24 left to go, 2nd and 10. Anthony Edgar. He's got the first down. And run out of bounds by Ronnie Lott at the 37-yard line.
So UCLA is really taking it to him right now.
Mark Harmon has been quick to point out to us that UCLA has won the second half. 6:18 left to play in the ball game. I tell you, there's a lot of this crowd still on hand. That's JoJo Townsell out to the left. Willie Curran is flanker, wide to the right. Fake to Edgar. Bayshore takes it himself. Can't get outside. And number 78, Big George Achika, 6'5", 260-pound freshman from San Jose, who many college coaches felt was the best defensive lineman in the United States last year as a high school student. He's the Cal State heavyweight wrestling champion as a junior. Get this, Pat. 6'5", 260 pounds. He runs the 40-yard dash in 4.7 seconds.
Oh, my. He's kind of blot out the sun when you're a quarterback standing behind him, you know.
5:43 left to play. It's second down, 2 yards to go. Dilkey Williams wide to the right side. Jojo Townsend split end on the left. Juan Penaranda is the fullback. To give to McNeil. McNeil still on his feet and down at the 32-yard line. Ronnie Lott still in the ball game as a first stringer, makes the stop. Let's go down to Ed Arnold on the USC sidelines. Eddie?
Ted, on the preliminary report on Vic Rakshani, it's a torn ligament in the left knee. They'll have more on it later, but that's the first diagnosis.
The talk, Ed, on the sidelines, does it look like Rakshani is out of the Rose Bowl? Apparently Ed couldn't hear it. 4:56 left to play in the ball game. Willie Curran in motion. Third down and 6. Bayshore to pass. Sets up, throws across the middle, complete to Reitman. Reitman does not have the first down as Larry McGrew makes a stop about 2 yards short.
Mark, you know, Rick Bayshore is really reading that coverage well. As you can see here, he's rolling out. He's checking the out first. The out was covered. He hits a tight end coming across. And that takes an experienced quarterback to be able to do that, to come off his primary receiver, come back to his secondary receiver, and deliver the ball on the target.
Something else, too, Pat, in the fourth quarter, down by a lot of points, and just trying to stick your head in there and do what you can, and having to pick yourself up off the ground after every play. That gets to anybody, and I certainly credit Rick Bayshore there.
Toa Sapala is checked into the lineup at fullback for UCLA. The pitch to Freeman McNeil. Trying to get outside away from Ronnie Lott. Can't do it. Dennis Edwards finally makes the hit along with George Achika. A great defensive stop on fourth down. Dennis Edwards in there to help also. And Rick Bayshore hangs his head. Rick, you don't need to hang your head as you watch the defensive pursuit.
Well, here go the SC Trojans. As Mark talked earlier, a lot of gang tag, a lot of people around the ball.
That's 11. Don Jones back in 1 minute. The USC coaches along the sidelines. That's Paul Hackett with the phone to his ear. And you just see as the moon starts to come over the mountain here in Southern California, head coach John Robinson. First and 10 USC, 31-yard line. Charlie White. Can he go over 200 yards? He's to the 37.
Does he ever get tired? That's what I want to know.
Chris Elias, number 98, makes the stop. That's Marcus Allen, number 33. That's Roy Foster, number 64, the starting guard, the starting weak side guard, as USC calls it.
Pat, earlier we got a shot of Paul Hackett. He certainly developed some fine quarterbacks, huh?
He's worked with a lot of people up at Cal. He worked with Bartkowski and Joe Roth, and they're happy to get him down to USC. And
he recruited Paul McDonald.
He recruited Paul McDonald, and Paul speaks very, very highly of him. I've had an opportunity to sit down and talk some football with Paul Hackett. He's a superb football mind, a real fun type of guy to play with. He loves the game. He's very enthusiastic.
Pat, is this a good decision as you take a look at the 194 yards for Charles White? The first string backfield still in at this point of the ball game?
Well, I think they're going to take him out pretty quickly here and let the crowd give him the last big cheer.
Probably as soon as White gets over 200 yards.
Perhaps.
He averages 170 a game. Marcus Allen picks up the first down. .311 left to play.
You're right, though, Ted. If you're SC coaches, you really don't want anybody getting hurt now. Seriously, they already lost Rick Shani, and you don't want anybody else getting hurt now with the Rose Bowl coming up in a few weeks.
Head coach John Robinson on the sidelines. Here comes Michael Hayes. And there goes Charles White out of the ball game. John Robinson gives him a cheer, a well-deserved cheer for Charlie White. White raises his hand. He's going to the Rose Bowl. I'll tell you, he deserves everything he gets. Pat and I mentioned earlier the great column by John Hall on Thanksgiving Day. It really told the story of Charles White as Michael Hayes turns the corner. Hayes to the 15. Hayes gets back upfield. Touchdown, Michael Hayes. And look at Charlie White. He's the first one on the field to congratulate him. Michael Hayes, the senior out of San Diego. Brad Buddy, number 71, holding him in the air.
Boy, it's a shame they're going to miss Charlie next year, you know, Mark? Where does SC find these people?
I'll tell you, you may have waited a little too long on that one. Michael Hayes is a fifth-year senior. He's through. This is his last regular season game also.
Now, it's a nice way to finish it up. You bet that is.
54-yard touchdown. Watch it here. Good block from Marcus Allen.
He just gets outside. Now it's a foot race. He's going to make a good cut here. Comes up.
Brian Baggett
misses him. Oh, another good cut right back here inside, and he scoots into the end zone. You think he's excited or what?
Come on, Michael. All right, big guy.
Ho-hum, another score.
Good coverage by our top crew. Terry Jastrow, the director. I'll tell you, you guys have done a great job for us this afternoon.
But, Ted, you hit on something. You saw Charlie White. He was the first one out there on the field congratulating him. That's the type of person he is, the type of person he's developed into being here at USC.
Rob Kerr is set to try the extra point now. The ball is down. And Kerr is just as good as Eric Hipp. We've got 2 minutes, 37 seconds left to play in this ball game. USC leads it 49-14. I don't think anybody could have predicted this kind of a rout. But I'll tell you what it does to me, Pat. It shows me, and I've said it all season long, I believe USC is the best college football team in the country.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you. They're awfully tough. Their offense is diversified, which many college offensive teams are not now, because they can run the ball effectively, of course, and they can pass the ball very, very well. Very well balanced.
I tell you, Traveler 3 has run farther than Secretariat. Well, we do have a moment here. Just a reminder that tonight on Eyewitness Los Angeles, Paul Moyer, the outstanding veteran reporter, takes us on a search for Playboy's 25th anniversary centerfold Playboy. Paul's got some tough assignments. Then Inez Pedrosa sneaks us into Disney Studios to see how the dazzling special effects were created for the new space epic, The Black Hole. That's tonight on Eyewitness Los Angeles at 7. Right here on your station, Channel 7 for Southern California. Traveler 3. I tell you, they may have to retire him if he gets any more workouts. Let me lay some on you. Charles White, last 6 games. Against Stanford, 221 yards. Against Notre Dame, 261 yards. Against Cal, 198 yards. Against Arizona, 167 yards. Against Washington, 243 yards. Incredible.
And those are the big games, Ted. Those are the games they had to have. The conference games, the games near the end of the season when they really needed them. And that's when he plays best.
A score just in. BYU has defeated San Diego State 63-14. The kickoff goes to Kenny Easley in the end zone. He's going to run it out to the 20. Good run to the 25, the 26-yard line for Kenny Easley. Kenny's not too excited about the tackle that was put on him by Pat McCool.
Goodness gracious, couldn't Kenny do a little bit more?
I tell you, he's got to clean the towels after the game. Easley is a true All-American, averaging, as you see, 23, almost 24 yards per kickoff return. White has averaged in his last 9 games, thanks to Dennis Mnuchin, 196.1 yards per game in his last 9 games. He averaged over 200 for his last 5. What were his final stats today, Dennis? 194 yards for Charles White. Bayshore to McNeil. McNeil to the 28. Fred Garside, inside linebacker, makes a stop, along with number 47, Joey Browner. I'll tell you, he comes from a pretty good family, just a freshman. Joey Browner out of Atlanta, Georgia. Had a couple of brothers, played for Notre Dame.
They're in the pros now, I believe. At least one of them is.
Cincinnati, yeah. Gilkey Williams, wide to the left side. Bayshore to pass. Gets some blocking. Incomplete and intercepted. Mike McDonald, the senior out of Burroughs High School in Burbank. Number 58, Mike McDonald, picks off the 3rd interception of the afternoon for USC. And Rick Bayshore goes to the sideline. With 1:49 left to play in the game, this may be it. This may be the final play for the outstanding senior who's had such an exciting career at UCLA.
Well,
a bad throw all the way around.
I don't think he ever really saw that linebacker. The linebacker kind of slipped in and caught the ball. No question about that.
Thrown into a teeth of a prevent defense with 1:49 left. There isn't a whole lot that can happen, Pat.
Yeah, you're right. Not a whole lot he can do.
Unbelievably, Paul McDonald is staying in at quarterback for USC as you take a look at Rick Bayshore on the sideline.
They're going to start substituting some of these people here.
Rick, you got a long life ahead of you. USC cheerleaders. They're headed for the Rose Bowl.
They'll be busy on January 1st.
The USC players are going off the field, and there goes Paul McDonald. McDonald is going off the field. He gets the hand from John Robinson.
What a career he's had. A little bit sad. Last game here, they had some very good memories.
Scott Tinsley, number 15, will come in to replace him. Paul McDonald, number 16, 199 yards, 17 of 23 passes. Tinsley to the 32-yard line is Michael Hayes. Isaac Gordon, number 92, along with Martin Moss, making the stop.
This is kind of fun. Everybody's going to get a chance to play now for SC, and that's kind of neat with this kind of game.
Tinsley's out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. A freshman, 6'2", 190 pounds. Clock ticking away. 1:25 left to play. Traveler 3. He's headed for Pasadena also. Tinsley to Hayes again. Hayes runs into a brick wall. The USC fans on their feet. They gave Brad Buddy a standing. They certainly gave an outstanding standing ovation to number 16, Paul McDonald. You see the clock. You see the score. That's the time left. A jubilant USC fans. Michael Hayes goes out of the lineup now. Ellis Hansel in to play fullback. The give is to number 28, Dave Adams. And Adams is not even close to the first down. Look at Charlie White. He's all right, Charlie. You betcha. 195 yards for the All-American Charles White.
After all that, Charlie, that will be out dancing tonight.
This is it. The clock's ticking down. 3, 2, 1. The 49th game in this tremendous rivalry in history. A USC runaway. Let's be frank about it. USC has defeated UCLA by a final score 49-14. Head coach John Robinson coming off the field. A great victory for Robinson. One of the many he's had. Being congratulated by the over 90 Trojans that he put in uniform today. There's Charlie White. Will he win the Heisman Trophy? I would have to think so. Ed Arnold is standing by down on the field. John Robinson, what a job you have done as the head coach at USC. Many people think you'll go into professional football. He likes the coaching strategy. He likes to devote his full time and attention to football. He says he can do that in pros. He won't have to worry about recruiting. He won't have to worry about alumni. He won't have to worry about school functions. And John Robinson says that's what he'd like to do. John Robinson, in my opinion, if he's not the finest, is one of the top 2 or 3 college football coaches in the country. Head coach John Robinson at USC. Another victory this afternoon. A final score, 49-14. That's Larry McGrew, who gets a pat on the back from Robinson as the photographers gather around him. Ed Arnold is down on the field. Eddie?
Ted, this guy, what more can you say? What a great game, Charlie. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Ed. I like to contribute to all the linemen that made it possible for me to be here, and fine coaching, Coach Robinson, John Jackson, and all those coaches made it possible for me to be here in this position right now. It feels good.
We were kind of worried there earlier in the game. You got hurt. It looked like you had a little smelling sauce to get you awake. It looked like you had a problem with your wrist. What was that?
Well, it wasn't my wrist. I had a little problem. I had a little shucking up in the head, but everything seemed to work out, and now I'm just happy right now.
The Rose Bowl.
Well, the Rose Bowl. What can you say about the Rose Bowl? That's the biggest game for us, and don't too many people get to be out there on the first and playing on New Year's Day, so we're just going to go out there and play our game.
Congratulations on a great performance, my friend. Thank you. Back to you, Ted.
Ed, fine interview with Charlie White, the All-American, the Heisman Trophy candidate. Pat, does he have the Heisman locked?
I think so. I think he has a darn good shot, and I also think he's going to run for office with some of those answers he's given.
He's got a few linemen that might vote for him. He does have an outstanding line. UC head coach John Robinson. They're bringing the team out for the USC fans who are still here in mass. Mark Harmon, what can you say about UCLA? Next year?
Well, maybe, Ted. That's what you look forward to always next year. But not taking anything away from USC because they played a fine game and just completely dominated from start to finish. I would, in closing, like to say something about Rick Bayshore. I thought he came off the bench and performed admirably.
He did do an outstanding job. I would absolutely have to agree with you. But I think the key here with UCLA is the fact that they've got so many young players coming back next year. Freeman McNeil is only one of them, and he, I think, is a definite All-American candidate. As you look at a great All-American coach, head coach John Robinson twice, he's been the Pac-10 Coach of the Year. He's probably the Coach of the Year in the National Coaches Association. He's done that kind of job here at USC. Let's pick up the USC band. They deserve it. It's Conquest. It's USC on top, 49-14. Of college football right there. A coach and his All-American standing side by side with their fingers raised in the air, with holding the roses for the Rose Bowl. That signifies it all. That's the story of college football. Excitement, glamour, glory, but most of all, fun. That says it all. The smile, the happiness, the crowd, the song, Conquest. USC has done it again. John Robinson and Charlie White. We'll back up whatever you want, John.
I think, Ted, what they're going to do, SC has the tradition at the last home game introducing all the seniors.
First of all, I want you to meet our two co-captains. First man is the finest football player I have ever known, Charlie White.
I don't know whether you could hear that. He said the finest football player I have ever known, Charlie White.
But it's been good. It's been good to be here with all these my great teammates, and most of all, you guys keep supporting us. We need you guys.
Keep supporting us. We need you guys. That's Charlie White.
Our other co-captain, Dennis Johnson.
Linebacker Dennis Johnson, the leading tackler on this USC team. The rose smells sweet. We love you. From Dennis Johnson.
Senior linebacker, Larry McGrew.
Larry McGrew, what a great job he did at outside linebacker this afternoon.
Ray Butler.
There it is. USC. Introducing the seniors. That's Raymond Butler. Final score here, 49-14. Back in a minute.
What's up, Dad? Pay attention, kids. See if this guy knows how to cut wood. He's going to have to work to start that saw.
Yeah. No, he won't. That's a McCulloch 320 with electronic ignition.
Boy, it sure starts easy.
It's also got auto sharp. Sharpens itself with the press of a button.
I wish I had that.
There's more. It's got a chain brake handguard for safety.
That's a lot of saw. Look at him cut. Hey, Dad, what do you think of the McCulloch 320?
I think we're in trouble.
McCulloch Power Mac 320. Sawing is believing.
Selling an insurance policy is one thing, but giving you good service.